Boys, what the hell happened this weekend? What happened? Hey, Vampire, what's going on? Yeah, what the fuck happened this weekend, man? This weekend was absolute chaos. So, I only saw bits and bobs here and there. So, I came into a bit of the Jade Dragons set against the Bolts, and the Bolts were, like, absolutely squishing them. We saw, the Onis versus the Titans. Titans looking like... Well, the Titans took it late and then looked really good against a team that I thought would be really good late game in the Warriors. Look at Gore's face. Blech. Man, it was absolutely wild. And then, of course, we saw the Zapman passive in full effect. Zapman is so deep in their minds. They don't even know what to do about it. You believe in the Titans versus the Warriors. Yeah, so I was really 50-50 on it. I said the Warriors, but I was like really open to them getting beaten by the Titans. Yeah, Kings are... The Kings surprised me weeks 1 and 2, and then from now on, I'm not being surprised anymore, man. They just look so good. So that's one of the games I didn't get to see. I didn't get to see the Kings versus the Bolts. So I'm tempted to just watch a bit on stream with you boys. 2-0, absolutely stomped. But I kind of want to watch just a bit of this, if you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, they're just so solid, man. This is what Twig's teams do. People give Twig shit, but this is what his teams do. They are solid. They are difficult to beat. Yeah, maybe I'll watch a bit of this, actually. Just get a bit of a feel for what's going on. But let's start at the top. Tartarus Titans versus Valhalla Valkyries. This game was a bit of a fucking fiesta. So I had a bit of a new experience with this one. Oh, hello, sorry. As a Dragons versus Scarabs, Dragons looked bad. It doesn't take away from the Scarabs, basically, shut up. Yeah, so this is something that really bugs me about the casters. I love the casters. They're really good, but they literally could not... They could not compliment the Scarabs without going, this team that we thought were totally terrible, total dog shit, awful team, total stinkers, are playing well against a team who are, the Dragons are playing atrociously. It's like you're allowed to say that a team is playing well and a team is playing badly without qualifying it and say, this team sucks, how are they playing well? Like, obviously it's a surprise, don't get me wrong, but when you're in game 3 and you're like 25 minutes in, it's less, must be less of a surprise at that point, right? Like, it can't still be that surprising. Yeah, Scarabs, you know what, I'm not going to talk about Scarabs. I'm going to try and keep this structured because, like I said, this is going to go on YouTube at some point, so I want to keep it like I can split it into sections. Titans Valkyries, this game was a fiesta. So I listened to this game. I predicted Titans to win this one, and it was correct. Well, hey, that's like just about the only thing I got right all week long. I listened to this while I was in the car, so I basically had it like I was on like a radio thing where I couldn't actually see the game, but I could just hear Mifflin losing his mind about it. Sounded like a fiesta. I watched a bit of it here and there, and it was just pure chaos. It was like Titans are playing better, but playing sloppy enough that Valkyries came back in a big way. Jithens is in, you pick him tight. Yeah, so I was like 50-50 on this one. This was my most like kind of set. I was like, yeah, this can easily go either way. I'm not gonna lie, so I saw the end of game 1, and when I saw the Titans had the good early game and the Oni had come back late game, I was like, nah, only gonna take this set. Because I thought they'd lost game 1 and they came back and I was like, oh, okay, no, this is gonna be the only set. And then the Titans just, Paul has started playing Janus. Like, what's that about? He never played Janus, and now he plays it like like Paul does, and just hits fucking every snipe and Staff of Mirrodin and just one-shots everyone. Who'd have thought the kind of unofficial World's MVP would be quite good? But yeah, Tartarus Titans Valkyries kind of absolute clown fiesta. And then this is the game where everyone in my chat was saying Bolts, and I was like, no, it's gonna be Dragons. I remember Worlds, I remember Renegades versus Ghosts, I remember they got shit on in the 3 quickest games you'll ever see. Yeah, I was very wrong. And even if it had finished 2-1 to Jade, I would have still been wrong, because I thought that this was going to be one of those where it was not nearly as close as everyone thought it was going to be. Because, so, I understood why people were saying bolts, but my thinking was, I thought bolts were going to come into the season, like, shit hot. Because their team really didn't change that much. So I thought they were going to come in like a fucking bat out of hell. They really found their meta at the end of the season of just running it down. But they started off really slowly, in my opinion. I know they actually, league-wise, were positioned okay. But I think that was more because Oni and Titans were underperforming. So I thought that they would come in and, you know, blow shit up. And they didn't. So I was like, oh, you know, I'm actually kind of down. They're beating some teams, but then this set, they actually played like I was expecting them from week one, where they were just absolutely slamming it. Circuit was massive. I think Circuit is such an underrated pick at the moment. Like I said, I didn't fully see the games. I just saw little bits here and there, but I could see Circuit fucking running it. And Venenu is quietly having his best ever season. I say quietly, not fucking quietly at all, because he's on Twitter chatting shit, but he's having a really good season. Yeah, Circuit's just got such a strong kit, man. So bloated. This is the first week we saw Paul do we did last year. First week playing so passive. Exactly. He was just totally AFK last year. So this is something Zapman said in one of his streams, which I fully agree with, is that Paul likes playing gods where he can outplay the opponent. Like we saw him play stuff like Heim first week, you know, where he can do his dual things and like outplay them, but he's best on his team fight mages, like his Scyllars, and then brings out Janus and he just fucking runs the show. Paul is just like, how many better mechanically players? Oh, actually, wait, prepare your ears. I need to turn up the volume on my mic. Ooh, I might be an awful lot louder now. Tell me if that sounds awful. Yeah, like Paul. Have we seen many mechanical players better than Paul? Seen many players better mechanically than Paul is a better way of phrasing that. Okay, still fine, good. Like he can just play anything. Have we seen him play Janus like ever? And he plays it like the highest level that I've seen. He's an absolute nutcase. He really is. But with the Oni Warriors, I'm a bit concerned about their play style, man. Because they seem to be kind of split in this 50-50 between how Space Station played last year and how PK played at Worlds. I feel like Neilmar is playing for these late game team fights where you want a mage to follow up and blow up behind them. And they finally started to do that with Dades playing Scylla and looking like a beast on Scylla. But then you've also got the rest of them playing like Space Station did and, you know, kind of trying to choke out games. And, you know, basically Station played this like twisting of the screw kind of style where they would like play solid. First team fight, they absolutely crush it. Second team fight, crush it. Game is over sort of thing. Whereas PK were like, you know, first team fight, we'll lose that one. Second team fight, we'll lose that one. Third, we'll lose that too. And then in like 45 minutes, we'll come back. So I feel like there's a real mishmash of styles going on here where you've got people like Neil playing for the late game and the rest of them kind of not. Hey, Crode, what's up? Yeah, Paul's Mori is on a different level. He's got the best Morgan in the league by a mile, I would say. He can make any good. 2 Phoenixes down, no problem. 3 Phoenixes down, they're not even that bothered, really. Sorry, I was trying to drink away from the mic. I was listening to my last recording and you can hear me slurping in the mic, so I'm going to like have my tea over here. I feel like you can probably still hear that. But yeah. Let's you know what? Actually, let's finish the rest of the talking about the games. Leviathan's Valkyries game 1 was way closer than I was expecting, man. It was quite sloppy actually not even sloppy by the Leviathans. I just think Valks were playing quite well game 1. But the problem is that when a good team and a kind of lower table team are playing each other and they're close, when things start to go wrong, they tend to capitulate way quicker, because when you know you're losing, you tend to play more conservative, play for the late, defend on Phoenixes and stuff. But when you're thinking you're close and that you have a chance, you play fast and loose and you fight around like the Gold Furies and stuff like that rather than on their towers. And it meant that they just, like, when it started to go wrong, it fucking like blew apart awfully for them. But game 1 was way closer than I was expecting, man. Johnny is just so good. He was causing so many problems in the jungle. Wasn't letting Panatom do his free, like, Panatom likes to roam around the jungle and just like cause shit. And yeah, they punished that like they should. So that was good. But yeah, game 2 was just like game 2 was just like Godspeed. See you later. Yeah, gross. Bolts Kings. I didn't see any of this game. This is the game I saw the least of, but it does not surprise me to see Kings just crush that. I think we'll watch a bit of that, see what the games were like, so I can actually comment on it properly. But then, Jade Dragons versus the Solar Scarabs. The Zapman passive is here. Brutal Blaze, what's up, my man? Yeah, Jade Dragons, Solar Scarabs, man. I kind of... Obviously, I'm surprised, but there's a bit of me that's not surprised at all. The Zapman passive is undefeated, man. Really? You'd say the Kings are the strongest team. I would say that I think top end Dragons are still top. I expected them to have a slump, but I thought it'd be a few weeks until then. But this, because they did it last season, they didn't really do it as rival, but they did it pretty badly as Ghosts last season. But they are slumping big time. I don't think it's going to be like a permanent slump. I think they'll come back fine. But yeah, I think they've got a lot of work to do on their drafts. I think Sam especially. Sam has to come to terms with something that I've been struggling to come to terms with myself, and that is that Thor is not good. I love Thor. My most played god by a mile, my favourite god to play, is just not good. At the current meta, the way that teams are playing, where they're just able to blow up people, so there's so much gold in the game, there's so much damage in the game, you've got to be playing someone that's online like straight away, I feel like. You know, like I feel like these hyper carry or slower junglers, like I know people don't think of Thor as a slow jungler, but he kind of is, because if you're building like Transcendence like Sam was, he's not really online until sort of 10 minutes in, and you land into a fight with a big dunk, you kind of just get blown up. You hammer at any time offensively, you're dead. Like, I think as soon as I saw them lock in Thor in game 3, I was like, oh, no, we're in trouble here. The Ares looked good, but they had too many people that aren't very good at getting out of fights against the set. And they played against Tsukiyomi as well. And then SOT was just nuts. Like, SOT is just one of the better solo laners in the league right now. And solo is such a stacked role, but he is insanely good, man. Maybe a bad, yeah, just a bad week. Yeah, Ghost of Dragon, yeah, they always do. Panda Cat's Twitter game is in ruins. But the important thing is something that Panda Cat said, which is if you're going to chat shit, do it before the game. And he's so right, because I'm sick of people after the game being like, yeah, you guys suck. It's like, no, you don't get to say that now. You had to say it beforehand. Yeah, so yeah, Scarabs could have thrown games at a point. Yep, that is true actually. Yeah, I think one of the biggest mistakes that that Dragons made was trying to... So it's fine to focus out inbound when he's feeding at the beginning, you know, and it's like level 4, you can kill him instantly. But when you get a bit further into the game and he's a bit tankier, you can't afford to keep using cooldowns on him, man. Inbound does not mind being 0-3. Like, he is fucking used to it. And that's not BM, like, that's not me chatting shit about him. That's just kind of how he's played for a very long time. He's always in their face, always running around, always trying to start shit. And that means you die a lot, really. And they tried to farm inbound, and, you know, it just meant that SOT had a free lane. He was dominating Final K, man, which is not something I expected to say. Oh, God, sorry, you can probably hear me drinking again. And yeah, they kept like using 3 ults on him, and then they'd fight a blue buff, and then they'd lose because they just use all of their ults on a Xing Chan who's level 4. And then you've got King Arthur coming out the solo, and then you've got fucking Set coming out the jungle, and it's like, what do you do now? Bead solo meta, you're tired of it? I think it's alright, you know, because it means that they're not shitting on everyone else. They tried only in their last fight. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Final K had a funny week, didn't he? He just kind of lost all of his lane dominance. And then he picked Camazots. I was really surprised to see that. That did not feel like the right pick to me. I'm not sure how I feel about this beads nerf thing. I haven't fully decided my opinion on this. I don't really want to talk about it just yet. Yeah, 4 rolls on Bobby. Yeah, Kama pick was weird. Yeah. So, I think now we've kind of generally discussed the game. Oh, actually, wait, I've still got to talk about it a bit more, because the Zapman passive is so strong. I don't know what it is about that team, man. They just get in the head of the fucking dragons so much. I think we're looking at the beads thing the wrong way. I don't think it's that beads are overpowered. I think it's the opposite, is that there's so much gold in they're not building it because beads are overpowered. It's because at the moment the gold in the game is so high. So this is my issue with crit at the moment. I think crit has two problems. So this is all going to be a very long overarching point, but I promise I'll get to a point somewhere. So let's talk about crit. I think crit has two problems. One is that you get it online really quickly. There's so much gold in the game at the moment. Like, you can get 4 items within sort of 20 minutes. And once you've got Devo's Boot, Xe, Wind Demon, you're kind of set, right? The rest of it is just like icing on the cake. And the second point is that you get attack speed online. You get too much attack speed in crit builds. If you're hitting attack speed cap with a crit build, something's gone wrong somewhere, which is why I expect to see crit, the Wind Demon, the Shuriken tree become melee only moving forwards. Because I think the payoff is going to be that if you want to hit big, you hit slow. You hit slow auto attacks that do big damage, or you do quick auto attacks that do less. So the point that I'm trying to make there is that there's so much gold in the game at the moment that everyone's builds are online so quickly, which means that solo laners are struggling to stay alive, because before, solo laners could afford to get CC'd, and it really wasn't that big of a deal, right? Because they were so tanky, and they had so much more gold than other people, that they had, you know, more levels, more gold, more items, and they were so much more tanky than the rest of the leagues. They didn't need to buy beads. But now you've got ADCs and mids getting online so quickly, and they don't really have level leads coming out of solo anymore. It's like 1 or 2 levels at most, but usually they're equal, which means that now if you get CC'd, you're basically, you know, like acting as like a carry. They're still tankier than everyone else, obviously, but they're not nearly as tanky as they were, and they can't stand up to that damage, which means they need to buy beads because they can't afford to have that time being CC'd. So I don't think it's that beads are overpowered. I think it's that the meta has sped up so much, which is why that I'm starting to kind of get online with this thinking of let's make actives upgradable and cost money, you know, like let's have branching active trees costing money. Because if you took so before, years and years ago, when you said to buy relics, it was 300 gold for most of them. There were different price ranges for some, but for most of them it was 300 gold per rank with two kind of, some of them had 2 splits, not all of them did, but it was basically, if you wanted to max out a relic, you'd have to spend 900 gold on it. For 2 relics, that's 1800 gold. Take out 1800 gold from builds. I don't know, that'll put people back a bit. Or they're going to lower the amount of gold given from, like, just generally, you know. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. ADCs are going the exact same build. It's because it's the best build. It's because it's the most efficient build. Crit damage has always been countered by the fact that it's so slow to get online, that if you built it back in the day, like, basically, I just think it's ridiculous that you can put a build with Deathbringer in and still hit attack speed cap. Like, that to me is crazy, because I always thought you basically built crit builds to either have big crits or, you know, lots of little crits. So to have a Deathbringer build where you can hit attack speed cap just feels all kinds of wrong to me. So yeah, sorry, I know I got very, very waylaid, but that's my thinking on it. I don't think it's that beads are overpowered. I think the game is just basically balanced around the fact that everyone buys beads, and the fact that there's so much damage in the game that you need to have them. So I think it's sort of a kind of a backwards reasoning where, like, the end result is the same as that everyone's buying beads, but it's not because beads are strong, it's because the reverse, because the alternative is I started reading chat and I forgot where that sentence was going, but something about an alternative. Yeah, he like sucked the power from that Ross Apocalypse video. Right, so let's watch some games. I actually downloaded a bit of one of the games, not this one, Titan Valks. I'm not really that bothered about that game, because this game was over very quickly, although funny for them to get a quick fire giant. That made me laugh. Bolts Dragons. This is what I wanted to watch a bit of because I didn't see this game. So I want to see how this happened. Oh. Did you see that there? That's a Thor. That's a Thor. I love Thor, my favourite god, but he's not good. I'm sorry, he's just not good. That's a 4. That's a 4. Can you hear the commentary? So I think Thor does enough damage, but to do that damage, you have to be hammering. Oh, you can't. Okay, what about now?
Just kind of this start of the season up against, not those top 4 gave the Bolts a
And
good start.
when I'm talking, is it too loud? Is it what's the volume levels? Are they okay? Are they too loud on me? Is the vid too loud? This makes me laugh. I saw that bit. Sam just walks up and autos the camera and just nicks it. Yeah, how are the levels sounding? You're considerably louder, so I say it's good. I could be a bit quieter. Okay. I'll turn myself down 1 decibel. Yeah, so Thor does do a lot of damage, but you have to hammer for it. And if you're hammering for it, then,
it's been so prevalent these days that
you're dead, basically. That's the point I'm trying to make. I wonder if there's a way I can turn it down in my ears, but keep it loud for you guys, because... Yeah, I was surprised. And it's funny, because... Oh, so I saw this bit. Oh, wrong targets, boys. Wrong targets. Sam, when I was watching Sam's streams, I love Sam's streams. They're probably my favorite streams, to be honest. He always builds bumbers, and so it's funny for me to see him build. I all of a sudden. Doink.
And out of options as Sam finds the second kill of the game. Non-stop action across the board. The Dragons get the
I'm going to turn it down a little bit because it's very loud in my ears. I'll turn myself down a bit as well, so you can turn up your volume. Yeah, so this was a bit of a this is unfortunate because it's the right idea, and Sam is waiting here to ult. And it's a good idea, right? Hurrywin's baiting himself out. Look at the juicy little noodle over here. And then, but the problem is the CC Immuno, and Laspera sees it coming, and he runs away, separates. He realizes that he's going to be the target, so he separates himself from Venenu, while Venenu's killing Hurrywin. And like, Kukulkan, I know, yeah, that's just clean. But Kukulkan really can't do much into a fucking Raijin ult. Oh, the Bolts have lost this game? Oh, I thought this was one of the ones the Bolts won. Actually, wait a second, hold up. I'm going to try and get this set up a bit better. Media source.
And Hurrywin was trying to bait Venenu into doing exactly what he did. Just jump in on me and we'll kill you instantly off the Thor dunk, but Laspera was there earlier than Sam.
That's not what I meant.
And they were able to take Hurry off the map. Hurry maybe rushes the ultimate a little bit. It's so...
Here we go.
You're getting double ulted, you just got jumped on. It's impossible to say, oh, hold your ultimate for another 2 seconds to get some setup, but would have been a little bit cleaner in that regard.
God damn it. Okay, I'm being useless. Ignore me. They got reverse seed twice. Oh my god, they did, didn't they? Bolts won this one crazy. Sorry, so do you think after winning the first game both sets, they get complacent and make silly mistakes? Well, I haven't seen this game, so I can't argue on that. For the second game, I don't think it was complacency as much as just... I don't even know what it is. They just seem to kind of stop doing anything. They just seem to switch off. I don't think it's complacent because they obviously want to win every game. I don't think they're just kicking back and relaxing. You know, I think that's a bit of a cliche. I think they just kind of changed their drafts around. It's like they just lost their mojo, like they're fucking Austin Powers. They just forgot what they wanted to be doing. We don't see a ton of this. Myth's been talking about it a lot. Yeah, Circuit, this is not the first time Circuit has caused this team problems. Do you remember Adapting bringing it out? Adapting suddenly brought Circuit back into the meta. I think Circuit's a really underrated pick at the moment. Just such a bloated kit, and she just dominates other junglers really well. And if you're shutting down Sam, I feel like this team just switches off a bit, because Sam is like such a massive part of the team. You think Raijin's actually best mid in the game right now? Man, I kind of agree. Right, Raijin, Tiamat, who else is everyone picking? I can't remember. Kukulkan's okay. I don't think he's as good. Sam's maxing his 3. Doesn't surprise me, to be fair. Because if he hammers in and then you get like Raijin Thunder crashed on, you're just like... This is what I mean. I just don't like Thor as a pick at the moment. I really don't.
But in that instance, Sam doesn't really get a whole lot. Just splits half a wave with Panda Cat and falls a little bit behind.
Best players for each role so far go. Good question. Oh, okay, puts points in the 3 and the max is 1. That's interesting. So, solo lane, I would say Finals had a very good season as per. SOT has been really strong, man. Haddix is starting to really come online now. We're starting to see the best of Chadix. I'm missing someone. Julio has obviously looked good. I'd say maybe Final or SOT so far. I think SOT has overperformed for where his level for where his team is. Jungle, Sam and Panaton. Oh, pretty Twig actually, man. Or maybe I don't know. Everyone's just playing so well. It's really hard. Benji, I don't think Benji's had that good of a season so far for what I expect from him. You know. I mean, he's obviously a beast, but I rate him so highly that I don't think he's had quite the impact. Maybe I'm chatting shit about that. I didn't see many of Titan's games this weekend, so maybe, if he had a really good week, then maybe I got that wrong. Nika, he's an amazing player, but I don't think he's had that good of a season, you know? I don't think, because Onis have been really underperforming. And he's had good moments, don't get me wrong, but I don't think he's had the same impact as, whereas someone like SOT, I think, has been a massive part of why Scarabs are winning their games. I don't think Nika is as, you know, important to his team's results. Let me pause this because I'm getting distracted. Ducky's been really good for the Val. I think he's had better moments, but I don't think he's had that good of a season, really. I found him to be quite kind of caught out quite a lot. I don't know. It's hard to tell with a lower end team. You don't know whether it's a player or whether it's just a team not really meshing. For mid, Shinto and BMT. Hari's had a good start, but I don't think he had a very good weekend at all. Harin's KD at the beginning was insane, but I would say Shinto and BMT. Support, I would say Rong Yu. I think Rong Yu might be my player of the season so far. I think he's absolutely run the show. PBM, obviously. He's been okay. For his standards, I mean. Obviously, when I say okay, I mean, like, for the standards of PBM, right? Genetics has been really good as well. Aurora starting to look like Aurora again. You think he's slumping super hard? Maybe he didn't look good this weekend, but I thought he was starting to look better. Like I said, I haven't seen enough this weekend to know. Oh, mid laners, I didn't even say Paul. Yeah, Genetics is really good. I forgot Paul. How did I forget Paul? And then ADC, Yakor. Yakor is just a fucking Chad, man. I wanted to have my children. He's a fucking beast. Yeah, absolute nutcase. Right, let me just check some on my phone quickly. Bad stream. Delicious orange. Right. Okay, boys, we're in there now.
Has escaped to the right hand is the target. And as such, Barrack would have forced to back off. But it's Herwind in mid.
I feel like Paul needs to show more. I mean, I think we saw a lot from him this weekend, right? This is a bit of a wet fart of a fight, isn't it? Oh, they pulled him out of the Thor ult. Oh, we don't like to see that. That's going nowhere. Skip. So what's the gold? So do you know what's really surprised me this season about the Jade Dragons is that they have seemed... So their whole thing was how strong they have been early, right? They're early... So I'm choosing my words here carefully. So what I'm not trying to say is that they're just an early game team. They're just really good early, which means they don't have to go to the late game a lot of the time because they've won in 25 minutes. And last season, I think a lot of teams tried to beat them early, like Renegades did at Worlds, and it was a horrendous mistake because they just beat them early and the games were over, like, even quicker than usual. They were over in, like, fucking 10 minutes. But this season, they are very mortal early. Even in the games where, like, which they won, like against Leviathans, they should have lost that game too. They were cleaned out early. And they were cleaned out against the Bolts earlier, saw it, and against the Scarabs. Which is funny. I wonder what has changed to make them so vulnerable early, because that was never their thing. A lot of the way they got beaten last year was to take them late, survive the early and take them late. But now they're losing early as well. Maybe it's just a bad week, and maybe they are still like the best early team, but
loves that those allow him to set.
I think Hurry is an early game player. I mean, Twig did rotate a lot early, but maybe that's the difference. Maybe that because Twig was everywhere early. Twig was like, that's why you play Poseidon so much, because you can go zoom around the map like 100 miles an hour. Oh, see, no one's like, where's the kind of synergy here, right? They're all trying to do different things. Final K's in the back, which is fine, killing there. Sam ults onto Haddix. Harwin's ulting Jake. Harwin thinks Sam's going to land on Jake, and he doesn't. Jake still dies anyway, but there's a lot of big cooldowns down, and you've got a basically full health Achilles in your front line. And Barry didn't even rotate to that, and that was just a 1-0. Which is fine, I guess, but Twig's a big ball player. Oh my god. Do you know what the problem is that no one's dashing in a Raijin anymore. That's the real problem here. Yeah, Twig is never upset about dying for the fight. Right, so what happens to Hurrywind here? He's very far up. Oh my god, he just gets bopped by Raijin. He just gets like 100%ed by Raijin. He literally... To be fair, this is a bit weird. Why is Hurrywind here and no one, like... Either they're going in, or they should be calling Hurrywind back. Because, like, what's going on here? He's got a tornado that stops people coming in. But there's a fucking Raijin standing there. And it's for so long. Look, Mike, why is Mike not covering this bit? Why is Sam not covering that bit? Why is PandaCat not covering that bit? Oh my god, Ven just fucking one-shots him. And this is what I mean about Thor. As soon as you commit to a fight, you just die, basically. Look, he hammers and teleports in, and it means he's just dead. Because now they're going in, and it's like jumping in. But you need to jump in to do your damage. I know Dragons will win this game, but... Excuse me 1 second. Yeah, exactly, Vampire. That's why he'd just zoom around in his Poseidon.
2 shells instead of 2 Aegises on their back line. You've just got to be aggressive.
I think Yemoja from PPM is fine.
And then says, wait, why am I not just
but at the same, I think Yemoja's such a good god. But at the same time, you know, maybe if you're scared of Yemoja, ban her, and then, I mean, Mike's god pool is so deep, right? You can play Ares, he looks so good on Cerberus, Fenrir, like all of this random crap. So what goes wrong for the Bolts this game? Because this looks really good for them. Early game before this season. Yeah, true, but you think about them at Worlds, right? They were just unstoppable early. And obviously you can't compare regular season teams to how they perform at Worlds, and with a change in mid laner, but you wonder whether this is going to be a trend throughout the season. Are they just going to not be as early game dominant and try to play more team fighty with Hurrywind? A better aggressive support than healer, yeah. I guess without Twig there, you kind of lost part of your initiation, which is funny to say when you're talking about a mid laner. But Twig was always part of the kind of... So in a team fight, you'll always have players whose role is just there to absorb cooldowns. And Twig did that more than just about any other mid laner. Like, you know, that's why frontline is so important. Because you just go in and fucking absorb a bunch of cooldowns, push people back. And if you've got Mike on a healer, I guess he's not doing that in the same way, which means it's harder for Sam to initiate, which means it's harder for it to all work out. But they win this game, so what am I on about, basically? Don't I double shell on the carries? So the idea is to just totally shut out the Nemesis from the game. But yeah, against a Raijin, I don't know if it's really reasonable, because your shell HP actually isn't that high. Like 1 tick of Raiju or 1 tick of his ult will clear out that shell immediately. They're just doing it for the block stacks, but I don't hate it, because it's good against Heim as well, but it basically just puts the game onto Venenu's back, and he was having such a good weekend. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, jungles win games, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Oh, Hari got shell as well, yeah, see, that I don't like, yeah. I mean, it's one of those things where the more shells you get, the more oppressive it gets. And it kind of gets better for each one you have. But at the same time, for that to work, you need to have both your carries standing next to each other all the time, which is not that good of an idea in a team fight generally. Because if you have your carries standing next to each other, and then Blink Haddix goes to your backline, then it's like... then you know he's just gonna fucking doodle on you. Yeah, exactly. I'm not like defending it. I'm just kind of trying to understand it, because if you just write something off, then you never really get to make a proper opinion on it. I like to understand it, see why it's good, and then say, no, I think I'd rather have him just have an Aegis, frankly. Especially with Cuckoo. Cuckoo's so good with Aegis, they're just wasting time. That's a really good Yamoja roll.
Takes to the air, looking to re-engage, and chooses.
Wow. See, that's where Thor is good, right? Oh, and he gets the... That hammer did not do as much damage as I was expecting. Med Cuckoo. Someone's going to bring back Med at some point, I'm telling you.
It looks like you're sticking. Takes to the air, looking to re-engage.
So let's just watch Sam here quickly. Venenu runs off here. Lasbro gets slapped there. And they go and stand right next to each other. They're standing so close to each other. Why don't they spread out and then they both get dunked? Why do they just keep standing next to each other? Why doesn't one go over here? Force him to commit on one. Medians play against Hannah. Yeah, it's an interesting idea. Gets better than Shell, isn't it?
They might even drop it to take this fight with Jake so low. He still has lurking in the waters. Sunder comes out as well.
Oh, Barra. Barra. No way. I thought he was going to get out. Oh, big ol'. God, they're chasing Jake so hard from like... So what happens here? Good wall. I think they're going a bit too much on Jake here, but... Sorry. That's why you don't eat on stream, kids. You get a big seed in your mouth. So that they all go in on Jake, and he just dashes away, which seems a bit weird. But how does Barra get stunned in the back? Because that stun from Barra is what makes this whole fight go wrong. Oh, it's Mike coming around the back, isn't it? Yep. He hits a 6 stun there, and then suddenly the fight is really bad because he's getting air struck, he's getting tornadoed. And they're just wrecking. Panda Cat is right here and just getting free casting. Wiped out. Haruin plays this fight really well. But that's one thing Ghost do. They chase support super hard, man. Seed and man. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Hot tub stream. Oh, Haruin, you're gonna die. Why are they still tanking this? It's at like 80%. You can just let it go.
They're going to be able to do this fire now at all.
This is a really good tactic. When teams aren't full health and stuff like that, playing distraction around the fire giant is really good. Just not even committing, just standing like here and dashing away, you know, but just keep players coming in and out of the pit, stop them from DPSing. See, now he's a bit late because now they can actually look at confirming it. Oh, that's such a good ult. And their big ult, yeah, that's really well played by the Dragons. Beep 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 bop. Beep beep beep. Clear towers, clear waves. Space invaders. Okay, here we go. This is how you should really watch games. See, okay, let's watch Thor here, because he dunks in, he spins, and he hammers. And as soon as he hammers, he's just dead, because they do anything on him and he just gets wiped out. And they've not even killed Jake at the end of it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I love Thor so much, but I just really don't like him as a pick at the moment. Everyone is so grouped all the time. Team fights are so, like... team fighting at the moment.
He does so many things so well, but if there was one thing that I think he gets still caught up in a little bit from time to time is that sometimes he makes up his mind that I'm killing this dude, and I'm not changing my mind no matter what happens. So I'm getting up in the air, and I'm getting the kill. Okay, it's only Jake. Who cares? I'm landing on him. Okay, he ulted. Who cares? I'm hammering on him with the rest of the bolts still right
exactly.
Next to him. Just a big
Aggro saying it better than I. Yeah, exactly. It's a Sobek. Like, who cares? And this is exactly what they were doing against Scarabs. They were just going in on inbound, and it's like, you know, even if you do kill him, frankly, I think losing support for a few ultimates is a pretty damn good trade. Yeah. Thing is, it worked for them last season, this killing the tanks thing, because they were so far ahead and they just blew people up and just kept people out of the fight straight away. They caught people out of position and just blew them up. But like, this isn't really that high damage of a team, actually. Yamoja's like no damage. Jing is high damage, but she's over here. She's not really that involved in it. Sam's damage is quite incidental. Like, he has to really commit to going and doing it. And if Horrorwind isn't hitting his things on that target, then there's not much damage there. So, you know, they've not got the same blow-up potential like they had when they had something like an Ares or a Fenrir, you know, where it was like, hey, I'm going to Fenrir ult you and you're dead, sort of thing. Wow, that's so good. That was a really good fight, though. That's such a good ult here. The wall into the Yamoja wall keeps Ven out, keeps Haddix in. I think I saw, did I see a Sunder in there too? Oh, there is a Sunder, but it wasn't used. God, they didn't even use a Sunder on that. Mistimed ult from Sam there. But they just blow up Jake. So that's what they're looking for when they go in on the tanks. Just totally blow them up before they have a chance. Yeah, Yamoja ult was crazy. Yes, yeah, I agree. So I think they I think something that's really underrated is killing tanks in Smite, because once your front line collapses, your back line can't fight. If you have front line and they don't, sorry, if you don't have front line and they do, you can't fight as a carry, because the front liner will just kill you. Oh, don't tell me they lose this.
As soon as Ven shows up, they should know it. No, Ven gets all the way.
Oh, that was so close.
Now Ven is just dead.
Wait, why is he not fearing them? Why did he truth into that? He like so slow on his little wheelchair. He slowly scoots his way into the. Look, it's so far away. Oh no! What was that, man? Man, here I am saying he's having his best season. That was horrible. Yeah, so the point I was making, that if you have frontline and they don't, you basically just win the fight, because their backline can't fight your frontline with, because you'll have your backline following. I know it's hard to follow, but basically you need frontline is what I'm trying to say. You need frontline or you'll die. And so if you blow up the tanks and kill them, then the fight just falls apart. The backliners never have a chance to fight, and the game is over. So let's watch here, for example. We know Jake dies. So let's watch it. He blinks, plucks, only gets Mike. That's unfortunate. But like, Panda Cat is just hitting like a truck, blows him up. And now look, everyone's running. Everyone's running. And once you're running, the fight is over. Oh! Sam hits that fat water. You're actually in quite a long animation when you're dashing with Nem, so... Wow, that turned so quickly. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Vampire. So that's what I'm trying to say. That's why they're doing it, and why it's not working is without their lead, like they used to have. So Serket came out. These two are the ones that you can't see behind my head, but Serket and Merlin were the last few picks, and from what I watched of this game, they look like the ones that were really running it. Very similar comp. Wheelix, I think, is a better pick than Thor, which is funny that that's the one that they win. And I guess the thing is with Thor, right, is that when your initiation does go right, you can't, if it's in the late game, you kind of just win. Like, you kind of just, like, game over straight away. Oh my god, there's already 5 kills. What happened? Yeah, so many good ult spots, you're right. If you're constantly coming up to walls at diagonals, if you're, like, coming up to corners from the side and then ulting over that corner wall, that makes, like, you hit so many good ults. That's what Wrong U's been doing all season.
Mike moves in, and there's the blink. Jake already in trouble, pulled in, and on the jump in, Lasper gets knocked up, so maybe he'll have to settle for Panda Cat as the target here. Does find the Cobra's
how did the poison not just spread? I think he's still dead. Oh, and look, there's the difference, right? If that's Twig in mid lane on Poseidon, he is there first. But that's very much not the case. Oh, and he's ulting. Sure, no. Oh no, doesn't get there in time. Ooh. Ah. Have they allowed the players to play what skins they want? No. There's a massive list of banned skins because some of them are really hard to... they have like hard to hear animations, or they look different, sound different. The classic example... yeah, exactly. Big shout to 4K. The classic example is Sunstar Ra, which has like a silent ult. They don't allow that one in. All the ones like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle skins or Avatar skins, they're banned. If it changes the model of the god, it's almost always banned. If the sound effects are really different, it'll be banned. And then what's the other one? Oh yeah, so old models. So if you have like Vamana or Bakasura who've got new models since, they don't let you play the old model skins. And then yeah, the ones that are silent and stuff. Zuko's alive. I'm not surprised at that, actually, because Zuko's model is the same, but you think about Aang and Merlin, their models look so different. So if the idea is that if you see them in an instant, you know which god they are. Like, that's clearly fucking Cucullin. Oh, I've seen this bit before. Shaddix. That's so sick by Shaddix. They're both like full health here, but he just gets that level lead and he immediately goes in, beads at the right time, cancels out the dash. Shaddix, man. Shaddix is a beast. Beat solo meta, yeah. But I mean, if you're gonna build Bluestone and then Warrior Tabby, you know, like, why should you be any tankier than anyone else? You're basically like, your build right now is a carry build. So like, they're the same. Look, they're one level above the hunters, and that's it. So.
Too much damage for him to handle. And then Sam, who jumped in order to try and help out.
Oh, an ambulance by now for me. This is what I expect to see from Hadix like week 1, man. Hadix is so good. Also, I just realized I said that really quickly. I talk really fast, and I sometimes watch back like my old streams just to see what I sound like, and I say like 5 words in a second and like chew the rest of the words. So if I'm doing that, can you fucking shout at me in chat and say, Dan, slow the fuck down, you idiot. I don't say it as nastily, but. Ooh, Veneno. Oh, Cherno, well, Cherno's in the air. Where's he going?
Like Sam and Mike were just on 2 different pages. Barra is going to land aggressively because
good tornado.
Yeah, they're sandwiched. Sam, I suppose, is the
that Harwindle is so late.
Sam and Mike were just on 2 different pages. Barra is going to land
good flank by Lasbra. Does so much damage. Locks him in place.
Sam, I suppose, is the meat and the cheese.
I guess if you know that the other team is going to go Link first relic like you do as an Awilix, Circuit is such a good pick, because if you don't have beads against Circuit early, she just kind of doo-doos on you. It's totally fine, not British, still understandable. That's good. What do I think about the RTO pick? Never been sure. She's so easy to kill, I find. See, I would typically agree from my experience, but I've seen Mike play it really well before. So it's one of those that makes me a bit confused. I don't really know how I feel about it, because I've seen Mike play it well enough to think it's a fine pick. But I think she's pretty easy to kill as well, but especially if you're a Circuit. Yeah, this Cuckoo pick looks a bit funny. Actually, sorry, let's hold up. I'm at 256.41. Let's go back to picks and bans quickly. Did they ban? They banned Janus and Tiamat. And then did they pick Kukulkan before they picked Scylla? Yeah, they did. So they're picking Kukulkan really highly. We've seen all this. Which is surprising to me, because I don't think the Kukulkan has looked very good on Harrowwind. I think Kukulkan's really good when it looks really good when Kings are playing it. I wonder what the difference is. Oh, hello boys. What's going on here? My second ever bot. Oh, I actually feel like honoured having bots. I nearly made a mod. Ban. Yes. Woohoo. I am the law. You get the RTO into Circuit, but unless RTO gets beat, Circuit can just throw her back into the team. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. They go for the cripple to shut down the Circuit, but then the Circuit shuts down the cripple, so it's like... RTO is very aggressive, he makes it a lot better, yeah. See the cripple... Yeah, I think that makes sense, military days. Yeah. You don't mind modding when you're here? I don't know how to make people mods. I don't know if I'm going to even have mods, because I don't know how much I'm going to be streaming. I'm just on a bit of a hot streak, but...
I think this is the first time all year.
How do people decide who's mods? Like, I will make mods at some point. I don't really have... When you've got 15 viewers, you don't really need mods, do you? Like, I don't have to exactly... I don't struggle to keep up with my, like, 1 message a minute. Wow, so clean. This Sobek's causing them so many problems.
Has been a bit disastrous for the Dragons, as in comes the aggression from Lasper, dropping the last breath, and Barracuda landing as well.
They both have supports that are engaging, but whereas you've got RTO slowly engaging and
to start off this game up against
slowly engaging and rooting and a stun after a while. You've got a Sobek pluck where it's like, and you're dead. So it's like the story of two supports.
These are the games where this team looks mortal.
Ah, okay.
You know,
Oh yeah, Jay, you've seen it all, man.
Ghost Gaming and his team rival.
Wait,
This core
hold up,
looks
1 second.
mortal whenever Sam and Mike get desynced and
Yeah,
fall
what he's
behind,
saying.
because
Jay,
they're
you're not
aggressive
JSR on
plays
YouTube, are you? Or
a
you're a
lot of
different
time.
Jay.
And of course, it's not going to pay off. Mike was just too aggressive of a
Sobek matches. Sobek is Jake's playstyle, as far as I can tell. Hard engage is destroying RTO. Yeah, exactly. It's like hard RTO's soft engage doesn't. Oh, nice cripple on there though. It's like the kind of slow, gradual engage versus the hard Sobek engaging. It's just like different Jay. Okay, fair enough. Right.
Maybe the Dragons want a little bit back in trade.
Yeah, I'm sure there is. I'm sure I'll work it out. But when I need mods, I'll do it. But yeah, I'm okay for now because I have no viewers. But yeah, guys, wait. I'm gonna plug my second channel quickly because I'm gonna start uploading like stream bits. Well, I mean, you guys probably don't need it as much because you guys are here already watching it. But it'll be like uploading streams, like stuff like this. Yeah, let's do some skipping. Oh, someone died. I wasn't looking. So what happens to Harrowing here? Oh, look at sneaky little Lasbra. They have no idea he's there. Jumps in. And look, he's already dead before the ult even comes through. So the ult hits him, but the fight's already over. Maybe that's the way people are going to beat Ghost now. Just the engage, like, bam. Don't let Ghost have a chance to engage on you. Engage them so quickly, and that's what Circuit does so quickly. She jumps on you, ults, and she's CC immune, and there's nothing you can do to really counter other than beads it. If you beads her down, Godspeed. But yeah, maybe that's just the way they're playing here. Sobek to burn beads, Lasbra to jump in afterwards and clean it up. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me they start banning Circuit. Because especially against an Awilix, you think she should be the one. Need to find another god to do a similar thing? Let's find one. I'm cracking Smite open.
What a start to this game from the challengers in this match.
And so something that I've always been impressed by with Dragons is how much they can hang into a game. Look at the gold here. This is a 3k gold and not even fully 3k. As he just said, 2600. It's 1 and 8 and it's a 2600 gold lead. How have they managed that? Another one is like Raven, but he doesn't have as much hard CC, he just has that root. Gilgamesh top picked up ban. I don't know actually, I wonder. I haven't actually played a single game with him, or I've only been in one game with him, so
this is why this playstyle can work either
Smite just ruining everything. Let's skip through. Oh, someone else dies. Massive dive onto Fino. So he uses beads here. Does he think he can live? Oh, it's a bit of a boosh beads as well. Yeah, I'm not sure about that beads. You got 3 people there. Erlang maybe? Yeah, Erlang. Fenrir Najjar? Yeah, these are now you're talking. Fenrir, it's not like a Fenrir. Just dunking in on them. Darji? I think Darji will see some play. But I think she struggles against the same sort of things that Thor does. If she's going in, she's fucking going in, you know? Ooh. Barry, you're losing this fight, buddy. Oh, that's a really nice. Oh, that's really clean from Herwind, actually. Fenrir against BM. I mean, it's like basically another ban if you're picking Fenrir.
Yeah, I just feel like Bera's job in this game is just to
BMing, do you mean PBMing?
Not that Bera's behind in any way.
Right.
He's in a good spot, but that's
Gods.
Forced play on the left.
Assassins.
Because this is worst case scenario where now the Jade Dragons have a glimmer of.
I think Tsukiyomi.
They've got a lane to lean on because Panda Cat gets a little bit of farm and gets ahead.
No one else has that really kind of hard engage other than something like a Najjar. But I think Tsukiyomi is the pick. Because when you ult in, it's just fucking GG. You can ult in from a safe spot. Suku is banned a lot. You say Suku's engage is too slow, but game 2 of Scarabs. Dragons. Big Bologna ult over the top, but no one's playing Bologna, are they? Tier. I don't know. Guan ult. Rat has good engage too. Yeah, exactly.
Looks like he is behind in terms of the itemization. They're not.
Suki's banned a lot. Suki's banned all the time. Quintuple Acorn is nasty. Yeah, Guan Yungle, let's go. We love the Guangle.
No reason to get involved where Panda Cat is, because Panda
Yeah, Pern style, Twig style. Ooh, skip.
In fact,
is perfect in this game.
Yeah, so Final K just started melting in these sets, I noticed. What happens to him here? Where is he? Oh, he's up here. Oh, he's getting absolutely... He gets circuit ulted and dashed, and then you've got... Oh, there's another good ult by Harrowwind, actually. But I feel like the problem with Kukulkan in these comps is that the ult is coming in right at the end, and it's hitting someone. It's like, well, hey, you hit someone, but the fight's already over. They're just single picking the dragons, and it means the dragons are always 4v5.
What is this? I'm not... What the heck?
The dragons are always 4v5, and so the fight is already kind of over. They pick someone, and then they just get out. And then they go get an advantage somewhere else, which is probably why they have such a big kill lead, but not such a big gold lead, because they're not doing things like Gold Fury afterwards, because they're still 4v5. Dragons can still fight. But when it comes to XP leads, you've got a 2-level lead in mid, 1 in the jungle. God, that's actually way closer. How have dragons kept this so close? 1 0 and 2, Kukulkan is the same level as an 0 and 3 King Arthur. Okay, 2 levels in the jungle now, but still, it's like 11.5 like real XP. That's really impressive to me.
From the dragons in order to try and save him, using Harrowwind's ultimate opens up this gold fury beautifully.
No chance for them to steal from Rain.
Yeah, I think the problem with that is that Harrowwind is always ulting to counter engage. He always sees somebody getting gone on, so he ults over there to help out with the fight. And so it means that you don't really have time to combos. Combos is something you do when you're engaging. You have time to decide what you want to do, rather than, oh shit, the fight has already happened. We need to help this person,
Even if Haddix doesn't get the kill, he gets the shell, his team gets the fury.
Nice bees, bro. I can feel crow typing as we speak. Yeah. Why are people buying Karen's coin first? It really triggers me. 20% pen early on is like literally less than 3 penetration. Like, why would you ever buy it before Spear? Because flat pen is only going to have value early game. But the stacks are like... They actually really don't give you that much.
And it is done, then you're feeling like you're pretty much invincible on this Kukulkan for at least another couple levels. It's gonna take Panda Cat getting to that death.
2% movement speed.
Feels like he can now compete.
So you get 8% movement speed max, and that's after 4 kills, potentially 8 kills.
Panda has no dash.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Get the Doom Orb effect, then buy the Doom Orb. No, I'm joking. Obviously, you don't get a pen, but... Oh, my chat's spazzing out again. Do you think the Dragons need to slow down the playstyle to help hurry, or... Well, I mean, let's be real. Their playstyle is working, because until this weekend, they were untouchable, right? I think they just need to be able to... pick things that aren't Janus and know how they want to play with those, because they clearly know how they want to play with Janus and Scylla, but outside of those two they don't really seem to know what they want to do. So I think it's fine to have weeks like this where you're just kind of finding your feet. What I didn't expect is that in these games as well, you'd see people like Fine OK not have his best performances. He's usually the most reliable member on the team. I don't remember Doomwell getting nerfed.
And then head over towards Fire Giant, because they're in that commanding of a position.
Yeah, I wonder if he does. I tweeted at the beginning of the season. I still don't really know what Harry's God Pool is. Just to slip up. I think it's a bit of both. I think just massive pressure coming from the jungle, shutting down Sam. Were they banning Mike's gods before? I didn't see if they were. But it just feels like if you wrestle jungle control from them, they really don't look like the same team. And these teams all managed to shut down Fine OK somehow as well, which makes you wonder whether it was Fine OK not having his best performance, or whether it's them finding something. I don't know. I'm not willing to say that I have an answer on that, because I don't think I know. Blowing up the tanks, they're killing the tanks. And then Harrowwind's totally alone. They've got Fino full health.
It's about the best he can do from that position.
Fine, okay, really the only one still local. Sam's close, but no ultimate, no blink
He
for
can
him.
get
Tough
this.
for him to
They're
find.
dropping it.
They do drop the objective and go for Sam on the backside. They leave Jake for
Ooh.
dead. And try and
Is Ven
find
going
Sam,
for it? No,
even
he's
leaving
not.
him for dead. As Fino K blinks in,
Fino K
back
getting
up
greedy. I don't like that
from
blinking at
Barracuda has
all.
arrived,
Yeah.
Fino
This is my
K
biggest complaint about
maybe
Fino
goes
K.
up
He's
to
such a
Calon
good player,
for
but he
one,
gets
but that's
baited
only gonna
really
last for a
easily.
moment as Venenu improves to 5-0
Like when
in rankings.
Sam realizes he's not getting chased here, he's running, he jumps away, and then he'll turn around and see that Ven isn't following. He needs to immediately be saying, look, they're coming over to you, and then he blinks in, and his build is not that tanky. Not tank boots. Like, not having tank boots makes such a difference to your tankiness. Doesn't get the kill.
Improves to 5-0, a rampage for him.
Fino's such a good player, doesn't need to do things like that. Right, okay. So I guess that probably explains why people are building Karens to try and get that movement speed back, but I don't know. I don't know. Salty Tower Boy set, that's the one.
They got a lot of relics. I mean, Heroin.
I know why I wouldn't go bees first.
So that's an easy option for them to
Yeah,
go for.
he doesn't usually play like that though.
They're not letting the
He does usually like to engage on a Wheelix.
game.
And I guess he felt maybe he needed to be engaging and starting the fight against this Circuit, but just Circuit without when they don't have beads is such a stinker. See, look, I was about to say, you got to watch Heroin in these fights because he's got ult, and so they cannot do with Merlin as your mid laner. You can't do Fire Giant if Heroin still has ult. So Heroin here takes an aggressive pathing, and Jake spots him, and he's like, "Oh my god, kill him!" Lasbra's coming around. Lasbra's just coming from all the angles you don't want someone to come from the other team. It's such good play. He's exactly where Draggers don't want to be in every single fight. And they just give it out. Wow, these guys are so good. Yeah, the casters really have leaned into the drama, man. You have to. I don't know. Yeah, Laz, this is a really, really good game by Laz. The Dragons just have no vision there? Let's have a look. I think I saw them counter warding up here a second ago.
It's just not worth it for him to
I can't see from consumables. But that's a red ward. Red ward. Yeah, you're right. I don't see any vision on the map at all for them. They've got all sorts of sentries over here. Panda Cat's clearly warding. But they have no... I think they've got a ward right there on the Fire Giant itself, if you can see that. And they've got one behind it, but that's it. Oh, god damn it, you can't give me that because of chat. Basically, they've only got one ward on Fire Giant, and it's just gone. Oh, it's actually quite interesting. Look, it's like just that. How is that out of range of that? That's surreal. They saw Circuit from mid. So if they see Circuit in mid, right? Yeah, she goes through the minion wave. You're right. She dashes through, and Harwinder here needs to see that Circuit there. I guess he's thinking, my best refuge is if I go around here. If you follow the mouse around here, past Mike, past Jake, and like over here. Because if he suddenly changes direction and goes down here, Lasbro can just jump over here and, you know, rough him up while these guys are being distracted by the fire and all of this. But I think it's just like, you know, just way too focused on the Fire Giant. Look, he's just looking there, and only now does he really seem to see him. And at this point, you're fucked because the rest of your backlines are running this way. Mike is here, but he's about to get gone on. He's about to not be able to do anything. And then Harwood is just on an island. And then look, everyone's over here. Harwood's over there, dead. But chat on the left so I can see the map. Good idea. Yeah, yeah. Tunnel vision. Force lives to shaman which can pull. Yeah, maybe. Harry may have been too focused again. Outrage. Yeah, exactly right. Let me try and move this. Oh, that's not what I meant to do. Oh, sorry. Chat overlay. Woo. Maybe I'll make this smaller. No more player damage for you. Top left. I think that's the top of it there. I want to see who's dead in the blue team. Fine. Sounds good. Oh, I think that's cut off a bit though. Has it always been cutting off that text on the right? Is it cutting off text? It looks like it is actually. Ugh. It's been doing that the whole time. God damn it. Technical difficulties. Why is it? I don't get why it's done that though. That doesn't really make sense to me. Harry does it without. Sam doesn't ult. No impact ult. So yeah, precisely. Right, that should have cleared it off. Let's make it. I can't believe it's been cutting off text that whole time and you guys didn't say anything. Let's tuck it there.
Belong to the Bolts cleanly as they take a handy dominant position up against the.
Actually, what I can do, I'll fix this quickly. I'll get this playing and then I'll fix this quick. I'm going to make it smaller.
What a game this has been from the Bolts, and it just goes to show the aura the Dragons have at this point. That
yeah, it's okay. It's coming back. It's coming back. Don't worry.
Maybe a little bit reluctant to talk about if this is out of reach for the Dragons. It's not there numerically yet, but if this were reversed, if the Dragons are in this position, I'd feel pretty confident about their position. Time for the Bolts to prove they
I don't get why it's cutting things off the edge.
Good point.
Oh.
Definitely,
oh, because it's enormous. That's why.
Reversed, but the Jade Dragons have shown that they're pretty resilient. They just can't afford to keep making these same mistakes. Yeah, they have for sure.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll be moving it in a second. Don't worry.
Back to that play where Fine blinks in to try and kill Jake. It opens.
Sorry, I will move it. I will move it. I'm just fixing something. Okay.
It was Mike being over aggressive and Sam being over aggressive and Fine OK being over aggressive. I mean,
right. Save. Copy. Sorry. That's me.
Honestly, has shown in this game. They have been overestimating their strength at every turn.
2500.
Seems that way, you know. Feels like maybe a championship boxer that hasn't taken a big hit in a while. And let's
okay, and then if we do this, properties, fresh.
That extends the gold lead out a good amount for the Bolts. They're now up 10.
Should be a little. Okay, right. If you chat now, it should show up.
2.5 minutes.
Maybe I'll cut this bit out.
They will. Rod of Tahuti finished out there for Veneno. Yeah, that gold lead is at a crazy point. 10,700.
Is that too in the way? It feels a bit in the way there.
When we are approaching level 20s for everyone, but really only
maybe between the blue team and the top left box.
They don't even have a lot of upgraded starters just yet to compete with the ornate
like here. Bam.
Jungle, the bluestone brooch that have been finished. So a lot of stuff they got to worry about as Jake finishes off his spectral as well.
Let's do that. Let's make it a bit smaller.
Full build for Barrow.
Still feels like he's taking up quite a lot of the stream.
It's not going to be an easy defense, but how do you like the Dragons' odds at keeping them at bay? I don't know if this will be a full Phoenix siege, but at least they'll lose these tier 2s.
Oops, I've now pushed off the edge of the screen by accident.
He's one of the best.
God damn it, my fucking tech prowess let me down again.
That clears the wave.
No, I think it's easy because I'm going to put this on YouTube. I want people to know what I'm responding to, you know?
Tail whips from Jake. That's not going to happen underneath the Phoenixes. The Bolts.
I miss it being over here. It feels wrong over there. Anyway, that's enough faff about that.
For the right side. Dragons not quite in position for the defense's frenzy comes out from Jake. That's the go button for the Bolts.
Oh my god, that's so much damage from Chadix.
For the right side, Phoenix already removed. So in comes Fine OK, getting right in.
Yes, well, it's not good on the main channel. Like I said, there's a second channel. There is a second channel, kids. Oh, wrong one. Oh my god, why is this not going away now? I'm gonna plug it. I'm gonna plug.
Take a game off the Dragons.
Right on the precipice. Just need another Phoenix or two, or one fight to go their way. Starting to see the damage come through from Panda.
You can be the first ever subscriber to this channel.
Was able to survive a little bit longer that fight, and Fine OK still got melted. He's still only level 18, so he definitely needs to get some farm before this fire giant spawns. I wonder if the Dragons.
Oh my god, 2 subscribers already! I'm famous. Yeah, lads, big lads. You're the first ever subscriber to the channel. This is just gonna be there's gonna be stream bits and stuff like that. I just don't like putting it on the main channel. Love more Betty's Frolics. I love more Alan Barmer, man. Love to hear it. Only 4k damage from not even 4k. Wow, he just never had a chance to go in. Just never went in at any point. That's really funny. That is not very good, Samuel. Such a good player. Wonder what went wrong. Guess when they lose jungle pressure, their whole playstyle falls apart a bit. Oh my god, Haddix is just like... Look at him. 70% health and he's just nearly killed Harun by himself.
completely handled by Haddix. It opens up for the Bolts to just step right on in.
I watch things like that, and then I hear Solinus complain about, you know, backliners. He has, what damage does he have? He has Bluestone Brooch and not a single other damage item. And they had to shell beads to escape him. Will you see coin flip? Yeah, Panda's been in a bubble, man. Panda's been just like farming. Mystical does damage, yeah, but he was only there for like 5 seconds, so that would have done about like 5 seconds max. That would have done like 100 damage, maybe. Pridwin proc, yeah, I know, but like that's not where that damage came from. The damage came from like. Are you telling me that this isn't the damage here when he goes boink? Tell me that's Mystical and Pridwin. I know. I'm just no. I'm not saying like. Yeah, I'm just. Cookie Rachel was just insane, man. Oh, what happened to Sam here? Oh my god, that's with bees and he nearly dies as well. And he can't even back because he's getting poisoned. Meanwhile, Panda Cat's ulting out. Oh no, he's just dashing out. This is so clean from the Bolts. This is what I was hoping for the Bolts all season. They've never had this late game cleanness. I'm so impressed, you know. Make him unplayable? I think he might be okay. I don't think Cuckoo's going to struggle particularly at the moment. Haddix always has the perfect amount of rage where he goes in, does his combo, and then swaps. And so much room. Once again, the QQ ult comes through, but it's like, you know, way too late. Okay, now let's look quickly. What's being banned? Yeah, just focus out. The Fenrir, Yanas, Anha's a bit of a kind of giveaway ban. I'm surprised they banned Arthur over Sobek. Yeah, tanks hit like trucks, man. Yeah, it's interesting bans. So Cat gets through again. Oh yeah, I saw a cat. Woo. Right, let's quickly go through this game. So I want to watch a bit of the Jade Scarabs game. So what predictions did you guys get right this week? Were there any good predictions you were like, yes, this was my... I'm sick. I called this. A lot of people called Bolts for this one. And I was very, very wrong about that. Let's have a quick skip.
Straight to blue.
Ooh. They nearly get the cat here, the P-cat. The pluck. Nicely played. That mana is so close. Here's Samuel. Insta ult. I'm surprised that Sam, oh, doink. Actually, I saw this bit. Sorry about this. You believe in Titans all the way? Nice, nice. I very nearly went Titans for both of them, but I went Onis in the end. But I literally said at the time, I was like, this can go either way. And if Titans have a good game against Falcons, I wouldn't be surprised. Which is exactly what happened. Nice. Those are the points that really matter, Alan. Those are the ones that really matter. Yeah, Jade drove with L. I don't think anyone had that. Like, I wonder what % of people voted that. I think it was like 4. It was a good week for the Titans to have a turnaround. 2 teams that are really low on confidence is exactly what you need when you're kind of looking to build your team. Oh, that's unlucky. So I said before that Bolts were confident in Yanis and Scylla. So interesting to see what they do now they have Scylla. I've not seen this game, so... Oh my god, they're just blowing up Fino. Oh, massive ult though from Sam. But how does Fino die so quick? I'm surprised he's not building tank boots. It's the second game now. He died had like more deaths the last game than he's basically had all season long, not buying tank boots. And he buys warrior boots again. I'm really surprised. God, they just... That circuit damage is insane. Oh, Haddix, that's risky. I don't think he's got any mana or cooldowns. Oh, he's not got it. Yeah, Paul will pop eventually because that's Paul, you know, isn't it? It's just what Paul does. Paul does what Paul does. I can't scroll my chat all of a sudden. Hold up. It did not go well. Why the knight pick though? You don't like knife in general? think Nike is fine. Nike just does, if you think about what backliners want to do, it's get into the backline, survive and do lots of damage, and she does that. In the most boring way possible, she does that. Oh, Sam! Oh, he's out. But yeah, Jake loves picking Sunder. Jake picks Sunder without Nikes on the field, so it does seem like a bit of an odd pick, doesn't it? Tank boots kind of bad into Guanless and cancel shred. No, but your boots, but like your protections are still being shredded, so you might as well just have more of them to get shredded. And the ticks from Guan 3 also stack up your passive really quickly. Tank boots value isn't huge against Circuit. Yeah, but it still makes you tankier, right? And like he died so much last game for what he's used to, and tank boots are really strong at the moment. I know it's not value against this Circuit. Actually, we know Circuit doesn't do much true damage anymore, does it? It's a lot bit more scale now, isn't it? I guess with Nike it's more acceptable, right? Because Nike has her ult, which makes it basically unkillable late game. Unless there's a certain item on the other team. Woo! The big purple nurple over there. I don't know. Oh, the true damage scales, is it? Right, okay. But still, it still makes you tanky to every other ability, right? Still got lots of ticks on Merlin, still got, like, Barracuda auto attacks. The incidental damage from Jake. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
You lose a couple waves and you're purple, but at least the waves didn't go to waste.
That felt like it should have been a good fight for them. How did it go wrong? They're just getting out-rotated. There's just more numbers from the bolts everywhere. That's always been Ghost's thing. They always had more people there. Yeah, I don't think she's a bad pick here. Oh my giddy aunt, did you see that damage? That's a full health Nike. Dash auto 3. That is 70% of a tank's health. This is why you see... that is why you see Guan picked. Look at him just like making sure he actually backs, force stuff into tower. So they banned King Arthur, didn't pick Cucullin, and let Guan through. Now without ult, yeah.
I'm interested to hear their thoughts afterwards, one way or another, about this Nike pick, because it.
Yeah, not even ult. That's insane.
But of course.
And look at the net value. He's already 700 gold up in the solo. Man, Haddix, man. This is what I was hoping to see from Haddix. He's been good enough to play in the league for a while, so I'm glad to see him actually doing Haddix things.
At this point in his build, just has that cooldown. No one's gonna have the damage.
Oh my god, he's hitting so hard.
Handle his sustain that he's bringing to the team and his damage.
So this is actually a really, like, this looks like a Jade draft, doesn't it? Like, this looks like a normal draft for them. Unlike the last game where it looked a bit kind of, oh god. See, when they lose. Oh, I get it. That's good from Jake. And then they're going to win the fight afterwards as well. What? Oh my god, this corner is doing so much damage as well. And now Final K's running. Final K can't survive. He ults and still gets shredded. Wow, this is insane. You just take away jungle pressure from this team and they crumble, don't they? Oh, here comes the Panda special. Oh, but he might still lose it. Oh no, he's winning it. Ooh. Do it. Do it. Do it. He's not going to do it. Oh, he's staying. Yeah, sorry, let's go back and watch that. I just got a bit carried away. Yeah, like, you get... So what they're doing is basically picking a jungler that can just kill Sam. Lasper just becomes the anti-Sam. Doesn't let Sam come into teamfights or anything like that. Just follows around the jungle. Anti-Sam or the anti-Heroine. It's well played by Sam to kind of get out while he can, but Jake just steams in. So what happens with the Scylla ult then, Vamper? Let's have a look at this. Is Hurry coming in here? Oh. I'll save you for something exciting then. I think that was a terrible pick. Yeah, exactly. It's not a bad pick, but it's like a... It's just, you know, they're better. That was not the biggest Scylla ult I've ever seen. God, I'm busting for a piss. Yeah, you're right. There's not much setup for you. You got your Serb set up. And I guess a kind of knock-off of Sam, maybe, but rough sit-outs. Yeah, I saw that. There were a few stinky ones. And but he played Sitter so well this season, so I'm surprised that he's suddenly just kind of going a bit wonky wonks. Yeah. Yeah, so it makes you wonder, again, the Nike pick, what that's about, because that's not good for setting up mages. That's not what Nike does. You've got, you know which squads are good for setting up mages? Squads like Guan, with a big fat stun. Cuckoo, with like knockups and tremors and roots. Yeah, exactly. Cerberus is going to be burning beads. So if you want Cerberus to your setup for it, you need a beads burner. And Susano isn't bad as a beads burner, but not something like a Humbats, which Sam loves playing. Sam loves a bit of the bats. You just blink Bat Salt, jump out, everyone beads, and then you can get Mike to go in and actually do his thing later. And even Serb 1 gets beads a lot. And then you pick something like a Cullen to get beads out as well, I don't know. Yeah, people also are really bad at timing stuff off Heimdall. I am awful at it as well. If you watch people try and time an auto attack to hit when it lands, they're just not very good. Who's the Zerg gonna pull though? Merlin can react. Goron will never get pulled. Return can react. Yeah.
First couple of weeks, I don't know if it was just maybe being a bit stubborn, but teams were not.
Yeah, because you can Tower Assault the Serbolt as well.
With Herwin now more consistently being relegated away from the pick.
I guess you're more likely to get Ven's beads using just your normal abilities in the ult. He can get out of the ult really easily, but at least he's still getting ults and stuff, right? General cooldown.
Well, of course. I mean, he's the best player in the world at that god.
Maybe they just think hunters need this much focus. No, because lots of he can.
Makes a lot of sense. I think Herwin struggles.
Yeah, that's true actually. You get Final K to totally block out the hunts in the backline, but then you've got Barret Akuna who can just press 4 and fly to the other end of the fight. Yeah, and Merlin just gets the room he does. And I know, spoiler. Oh, how did he not steal that? That seemed perfectly timed. Spoiler alert, I know that Merlin does a shitload of damage this game.
Hanging back in the wings and the bolts grabbing the objective, hightailing it out of there for
yeah, and Mike loves his Ares. Oh, that's actually a really nice sickle, to be fair. See, Haddix just does not care. Like, look at that pathing. Look at that pathing. He could just turn around and walk back to the lane there. But instead, he walks past 3 of them, just like doo-doo-doo, gets pushed, dashes through. Does not give a shite. Oh, what happened? What did I just miss? So this is what I've always thought about with Dragons, right? I've always thought, if you watch how Inbound walks around the jungle, right? He just strolls around the jungle and he dies for every time. Other teams shut him down. That's such good self-peel by Mike, but where's he go? Yeah, Inbound walks around the jungle and he dies because he's just like strolling about, like do. And he gets blown up. You watch Mike do it, and it seems like Mike is doing the exact same thing. He's just wandering around the jungle, deciding where he wants to go, like, just strolling around. But the difference is that Scarabs don't have jungle pressure, and actually, this is a really bad example because Scarabs did just beat Dragons, but imagine it for the last week's results. The Dragons have so much jungle pressure usually that he can do that, but now Serket is just so good at establishing jungle pressure because she just, with a build like this, cooldown, power, and a void shield, she just shuts down Sam entirely. And she can also, as we've just seen, basically single-handedly kill a Serb. Not single-handedly, but he can do like all of that damage to a Serb as well. So maybe this is what we're going to see teams do, especially after what we saw with the Scarabs yesterday. I think we're going to see loads of jungle pressure picks against them. That's what my crystal ball is saying. So what did I see or miss this week? I saw bits and bobs of each. I basically just kind of looked at my phone when I could. I saw the last 2 games of this. So I saw the 2 games that Scarabs won. Didn't see any of this. I saw this. I saw the first game of Only Tartarus. Didn't see any of this. And then I saw bits of this as well. I saw enough of the first game to know what happened because it looked like a fucking clown fiesta of the highest degree. Chadix was in Final Four, man.
So dominant on that Cullen and now really controls for the bolts and making.
It's good to see the Guan pick get used like a Guan first pick because I feel he's one of those picks where I see a lot of people first picking him and just not really playing him that well. Oh, hurry! Had the right idea. But I don't want to see my mid laner using I'm a monster to steal a pyro because like who the fuck cares about pyro? And so right here's something to note. Last game, it was like 8-1 to the bolts. and they were like 3k ahead. Now it's 5 and 3, and they're 5k ahead, or 4.5k ahead. So that just shows how kills don't make the difference at all. They're doing more with their kills than they were before by a mile. And I think the lead, that has to be the lead in solo. Look at this. 2 level leads over fine. Okay, you do not see that over here. 2 level lead in the jungle. Pandacat's actually ahead of Barra. But Barra's rotated a bit more. Because that's what Cherno does. Yeah, I'm going to watch a bit of the King's Bolts next. Yeah, exactly. Like, who cares about Pyro? When has Pyromancer ever decided anything? Let's do a skippy. I need to piss off this. I'm absolutely dying.
Mike pulled in and does not have the purification beads. Meanwhile, Lasbra ganked over in solo. Up into I'm a Monster goes Herwin, and Lasbra avoids getting knocked up by the Typhoon.
I guess you do have to kind of beads there, but... So he... Oh, whoops, I've gone too far. He's keeping these two busy and getting out, whereas in mid there's a 4-man grouping. The Pandacat's over here. They're just outplaying them across the map here. And then they go to Gold Fury. Yeah, just out macroing the dragons here.
I think you'd have to be that gold dragons. It has been the dragons chasing.
The thing is, right, I'm saying this stuff. I'm saying, you know, take jungle pressure away. I guarantee other teams will try that and fail, and then they'll get stomped. Like, it's not like, hey, this is how you do it kind of thing. I hope the Bolts learn this week, though, because anything... Yeah, that has always been the case of Lasbra, right? Get Lasbra on his comfort picks, and he looks like an amazing player. Get him on the rats and the whatever. Get him on the meta picks, and he just does not look the same. Yes, agree, Militiades. Yeah, he's not one of these that positions like super perfectly. He likes to play fast and loose. This looks like a really good fight for the Dragons. This looks good. They've caught Ven. We still just got a lot of damage off. Oh, and the... Oh, where you going, Horwin? What is this fight? What happened? How did this go so well?
Murray's so greedy with the relics, doesn't use either of them on that play and gets punished for it.
Horwin held his relics. What? What? You gotta be joking. Yeah, Ven lives like a second too long. This is what Merlin's really good at, right? So fine, okay, really nice flank catches there. Good blink by Sam, but let's watch Sam's health because he gets blown up by something here. The Merlin's stance change already has done quite like a chunk of damage there. Someone pops Girdle. Who pops Girdle there? Why is this frozen now? God damn it. I'm going back. Who pops Girdle there? Was it Sam or Mike? No, not Sam. Mike or Jake. See, he blinks out, he gets knocked up, but he aegises it, and he also used a knock up there from Fino. Beads at the right time to dodge the pull, drops the arcane 1 and 2 on his head. Sam gets pulled back, and they get plopped into that big chunk. So Horrorwind gets jumped on here, jumps out. Oh, I think he's dead regardless, but why does he not beat? I don't know, I think he's pretty dead anyway. Wow, that's an insane fight. Ven plays that so well. It's actually really helpful with you going back and talking about the games where I need to better understand these calls. Yeah, it's one of those things where you can watch it and think you understand it, and then when you go back and actually see it, you're like, oh no, I was totally wrong. Yeah, it's a really nice play by Ven. He plays, so that is what you can get out of a player when they do the little things right. So he aegises at just the right second, so he gets knocked up but immunes the damage for it. He gets far enough away and then gets a damage at his feet, and he still dies, but he's done enough as he can, and that means that the other players can come in and they've got less of a job to do. Last sport would have just been diff. Pick up last sport.
Nope. Great ends up just getting
they're down a fire in the sights of the Olympus Bulls.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I just as mid lane, I'm just running for my life half the time. Like, you know that. Help me. That's me. Jake's getting blown up. Jake's getting really blown up. Wait, how did Haddix die? Did he just get the... Did that I'm a Monster just, like, bop him? He's getting fire gianted pretty hard and then shredded by... I don't think... Is it me, or was Horrend aiming at Jake then and just accidentally clipped Haddix? Wow.
Blink is
So this is where last season, if you're playing against Ghost, Ghost turn around the game here. And Ghost gone to a win from here. Blink forward from Mike. This seems good. Getting beads, getting cooldowns. This is really well. This is classic Ghost. Oh, but that's big damage from Ven. Oh, Harry's dashing in there. How is Harry dashing in there? What's going on? Wait, what happened? So he goes in here. Lasbra in the back. FinoK's done the right stuff here. Mike at the back. Oh, why is this quality? Good from... Oh, they spread the poison. The poison spreads to Fino. And Fino's getting bopped. How do they get Panda Cat so easily? Sorry, I keep reminding this, but let's watch... Where is Panda Cat? I can't even fucking see him. Oh, he's over here. Oh, he got hit by the poison as well. I missed that. So okay, sorry. I'm losing my mind here. Right. He gets the ult and it hits Panda Cat and FinoK. Just spreads everyone. Panda Cat dies in the back. Oh my god, Lasbra just wins that fight by himself. That's insane. Really big damage by Ven as well. And he's still going to hunt Heroin. Oh, that's so risky. That's really nice to play from Hori though. My heart can handle. Wow, what a turnaround. That's really nice from Heroin. What the hell was that? Lasbra won that fight alone, yeah. That's insane. He kills Mike with the ult, pushes him into Panda Cat and FinoK. FinoK still did quite a lot for getting poisoned, to be fair, but they were really... So it went from a good fight from Jay, and then really nice play from Bolts to turn, and then really nice play from Jades to kind of keep themselves in it again. So now it kind of just settles as even, but that could have very easily just been Ghost game, Jay's game right there. Madness, yeah. God, they really need to win this game soon, so I'm dying for a wee. Wait, Dragons get gold for you? Oh, yeah. FG fight. So they pull it. Everyone's there.
They need some help on the DPS.
What are they doing? What are they doing? No wards anywhere. Look at the vision. That's a Bolts ward. That's a Bolts ward. They've got one ward up here. They just let that happen.
A little bit of a better zone this time around, but
Mike's close enough. He's just waiting and baiting. And now they're starting to come in, but they're way too late.
And the Dragons
What?
may be a bit worried to end up giving away too much there. Can't make their way in. The Bolts
Yeah.
keeping them out, and that Fire Giant is huge for the Bolts now because yes,
And they just get out freely. What the hell just happened? How did they get such a free fire giant? That never should have been that free, right?
much more quick on the initiation. They're gonna
Yeah.
they're running
It seems like Bolt went for the strategy of pick a jungler that can handle themselves and kill Sam. If your support dies, you know, so be it. But Jake hasn't even died this game, man. Sounds like the back animation. What's going on there, man? That seemed weird. Ooh. So this is your theory, Crowd, that that Serb can't really do much anyway. Blink, spit, gets beads. They react to it. He runs away. So what cooldowns did they get? Beads out of Barra. And that is it. Jake sundered as well, but... See, look, the frontliner is running away from the jungler. That's not a good sign. And it's a really nice build from Laz as well. Early game power and protection to shut out Sam. Transferring into just like more utility items. And then a bit of anti-crit so he can effectively go on Panda Cat. I think that's a really good item, really good build.
Has a chance from the side to make an engagement in. He knows his target is the man without beads.
How do people stream for hours that I'm dying for a wee. Right. Boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop.
Beads will be in, and we saw.
Meow. Wait, what's going on there?
We're looking for Sam.
And drops that last breath. Now Sam in trouble. Doesn't
Oh dear, Samuel. Where did they catch him?
Such a big deal.
Red buff. God, he just does so much damage to Sam. Sam can't handle it. Makes you wonder if Sam should have got like a void shield or something like that. I know Sam likes going full damage, but I think maybe some protection somewhere maybe. Because he just gets one shot by Laz and he can't be there in the fights. Yeah, I'd be screwed. Yeah, protect the jungle. I spotted that. It's just... Laz's build just exists to shut people down in the jungle. And so after that fire lead, oh my god, I hadn't looked at the gold. That's 16,000 gold lead. I always say that gold leads are overplayed, but a 16,000 gold lead is pretty bad.
Instead, Lasbra has great positioning on the backside of this fight.
At least they've got a ward here for once, but Bolts are just controlling the vision everywhere. And look, they're winning the fight and getting fire at the same time.
Meanwhile, while all that's happening, so EFG on their side and Haddix will engage. Mike pulled back to the Wolves.
Mike just
to be
melts.
Devoured by the Bolts, who will not be denied a chance to take the Jade Dragons down and find a critical victory.
Wow.
Up against a team no one
Taking
else
a
can
shit
figure
hit.
out how to beat.
And now the Dragons are in a very dangerous position because all their waves are pushed up.
Yeah.
You've got waves coming.
They really don't have that much control in this comp at all, do they?
Play it nice and slow.
You typically see Knights in these drafts where they have loads of control come out of the jungle and the support, and you have some support coming out of the some control coming out of the Cerberus support. But like we said, their team comp is really good for countering that. And Sam doesn't really bring that sort of control with a full level book because he's running away from Lasbra, so yeah, comes maybe not there. Wow, this is... I know we're chatting a lot about what the Dragons are doing wrong, but this is so good. I think this might be Lasbra's best set of all time. Oh, that was nearly the biggest ult. That's good defense. Barrow's in the air, where's he going to land? Lands on Sam, and they just kill Sam. How quickly does Sam just melt there? Look, bot, bam. 664. Was that a crit or no? That was a Merlin or one from the item. Outrageous. Ven had a really good set. Yeah, Ven had a really good set for sure. Yeah, I think this is one of Ven's best sets as well. I think they really did the job of playing against the team rather than, like, they're not playing against the meta or anything like that. They are looking at what Dragons are doing and playing that. Like, I think if they did this strategy against other teams, it might not be as effective, but they recognize that you can shut Sam down with these super aggressive builds and just take away a big part of their jungle pressure. And then meanwhile, Haddix is just diffing fine, okay, which is just insane. GG, this is over. Wow. Who is their coach? It's Rowe, isn't it?
With a chance to take this game away, and it's rightfully theirs. The Titan down below half. It's done. Mark the
golf clap, golf clap.
May 14th, the Bolts took
Look at Jake.
It seems they can bleed after all. Not quite perfect.
Then stay salty tower boy. Right, I'm going for a wee. I'll be back in 2 seconds. I'll leave you with the tones of aggro and Finch.
The last 2 games, the Jade Dragons were behind from minute 1. Congratulations to the Bolts. This team is the real deal.
And so many questions about the Bolts. Is this record for real? Is it just because maybe they've played some weaker teams, or there ain't a team harder to play right now than the Dragons? The Bolts get it done. Game 2 and 3 on the back of excellent play from that 3-man front line. Lasbra and Haddix, and great work from Jake too. And the Dragons looked, to me, aggro, a little bit lost in that one.
Yeah, I think the right side of the map just really got outplayed today for the Dragons. And you say that literally never. Like, that is never a sentence that's come out of my mouth before, I don't think. But it's credit to Lasbra and Haddix. They both played really, really well. I think the Dragons came in with a little bit of a weird game plan, but, you know, it's still early in the season. This is a time to be experimenting. I think the Dragons came in maybe wanting this one a little bit less than the Bolts did, because I don't think you could have wanted it more than the Bolts did. They came with something to prove.
No. Yes, I think you hit on something. The loss means way less to the Dragons, I think, than it means to the Bolts on this one, but still got to congratulate that squad. We're going to take a quick break, be right back to break down that Bolts victory.
The boy is back. The boy is back. It's like he never left. I have a wee time. Yeah. Yeah, Merlin. I think Merlin's been too far down the tier list for a while anyway, so righty tighty. Let's watch. Right, quick vote. Smart Game videos. Quick vote between watching the Kings and Bolts or Scarabs Dragons. That's the Scarabs Dragons, and then... Oh wait, they were both in the same evening, weren't they? On the same broadcast. Delightful. Oh! Good idea. Oh, doesn't work. I think that's a I think that might be I think that might be an extension that I don't have, unfortunately. So let's just get it from you guys, right? Scarabs and Dragons versus oh my god, he's made a straw poll. The man is just so organized. Oh, I thought you made it for me. Nah, it's fine. Let's just. I mean, there's only bloody 13 of you in here, right? You can just put it in chat. Ah, right. What do you guys want to see? Bolts Kings? Bolts versus Kings or Scarabs Dragons? So do you want to see actual, like, intelligent macro play, or do you want to see me go get bugged for like half an hour? Bolts. Gotta go in 10 minutes. Fair enough. 3 bolts and kings. That's good enough for me. Let's do it. Yeah, I'm not sure a oh, this is fishies versus the artisans. Not quite the same. You're salty at Jade. What, because they made you work late? Honestly, Jithins, I don't know how you... I meant to say this when I was doing the chat earlier. How are you awake at, like, whatever time you were awake? Because your hours are insane, man.
Awesome. Jake
Look at this timing.
Level 5 first year defender of Olympus down. And
Chaos already. The Amir wobbles. Twig is in. Twig's playing Raven? What's going on? Right, okay, I've gone too far ahead. Let's go back to picks and bans quickly. It's all happening to it. You don't sleep. Yeah, I can see that. As a Dragons fan, don't like seeing them lose. Well, you better get used to it. No, I mean, I don't think this is like a... People are making it out to be like a real slump, but people are really kind of short-sighted, I think. You know, I think losing a couple of games here and there, they're still going to be like one of the top teams, let's be real. Yeah, exactly. Right. Classic Kings going first. Look at this. First ban Nejar. What a world. What a world. Jithins, is it funny for you watching stuff like this back, being so involved in it? But yeah, look at these Sobek ban, Ares ban, Circuit ban. The Kings saw what Lasper did. They're like, fuck that, we're not giving him fucking Circuit anymore. They love their first pick Ymir, King Arthur and Variety. This is like this top 3 is like the most classic Kings draft. But Raven Janus is not 2 I'd put on Ting's Twig. Bolts, Cherna, Athena, Cullen. I mean, yeah, just give him Raijin every time, right? But I think banning Sobek is massive against the Bolts. I think these are really good bans. Don't ban the meta, especially when you're first pick. Don't ban the meta. Just ban fucking, like, Circuit against them. Put, wait, where's that Athena going? Is that a Chadix Athena? Oh, no, Athena Cullen. It's Lasbra Athena. Oh, dear. We were literally talking about how we liked Lasbra on Hypermobile Gods, and then, yeah. I have all the behind the scenes whenever something goes wrong that you also get to see. So what's it like? I've always wondered from your point of view, what's it like when there's all these like production problems and then you've got everyone like, oh, Smite Pause League, blah, 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 because it's obviously like an insane operation you're putting together. You're putting together so many different moving parts, and you've got loads of, yeah, spill the tea. Vampa's got it right. If I'm honest, if I was you, I'd be in Smite chat saying, shut the fuck up, you dribblers. Like, you absolute cretins. Buy more servers. Like, just that mercy internet. Yeah, exactly. Are there any sort of plans to get people back anytime soon? Because most of, like, America's vaccination scheme is going really well, isn't it? So...
Isn't Raven still 100% win rate in the SPL right now?
Because it's a lot better than US. I've seen a lot of people getting vaccinated out there. Oh, okay, yeah, so I guess that.
Setting up for his team, but can certainly hard carry.
I'm imagining, I'm not asking you to comment on this, but knowing on their stance on how things are going in terms of like, if there are EU teams playing EU teams, how they still play on NA servers, they're like, oh, we'll review that after the first round robin. Something tells me it's going to be the same sort of thing. But I'm not asking you to comment. Okay, so this is what we just saw. Netrio just blowing up Jake in the background as well.
And Lasbra
Look at the Emir wobbles. Wiggle, wiggle. Big dunk.
Looks like first blood. Lasbra's got it, but Captain Twig now leaps on in, looking for the return. Kill. Won't get it yet, but the up down from Netrioid will.
Yeah,
but look
fair
how
enough.
Aggro Venenu rotates from mid.
And he's got
God, Ven is everywhere on these Raijin picks, man. Yeah, fair enough, Jitsons, fair enough.
Tings is here, but I think he's too little, too late. And that's just which, of course, he's going to. It sets up for an easy kill.
Look at Haddox just dithing everyone again. See, this is what happens with Genetics, right? He dies once in lane and he's just like, you know what, fuck this. I'm on the rampage. He's at blue buff. Do you know who he plays most like? He plays most like Jake, funnily enough. Comes in, fat. What is that diminishing returns? Did you see that shit? How short is that stun? See, look, he gets knocked up and then he gets ulted and he's just beat. So his DR is massive. That's like didn't even get to fucking 2 after that. And he just walls off Athena. Yeah, exactly. I can't believe we've seen Twig play Rather. That does not strike me as a Twig god at all. Yeah, that's right. So the interviews for visas, basically, the fucking any process to get a visa is a pain in the ass, especially coming into the US. And they've just got this massive backlog of interviews, and so it means that people like Genetics has said he won't be there until Split 2 by a mile.
Already out of danger at that point, but
yeah, Frontline does not give a shit. Oh,
I like the aggressiveness of the King show, and that's something that you can really.
But isn't it crazy how well Variety has played this year? Oh, here comes Twig. Can he kill Variety before he dies? No, he cannot. To it. Why is Twig killing creeps? Kill him! Twig, what are you doing? Why are you killing creeps? What's going on there? He's like, oh yeah, we got him killed here. And he's like, yeah, you know what, fuck this minion. And he gets the root, but he just dashes away. I know he had no ult, but he could have just stuck with it, because the 1 is on such a short cooldown, and he's got speed buff, so we can catch up to Raging Cuckoo. I guess he's got Chalice ticking. Maybe I'm getting baited there, but I'm probably just getting baited.
All the way to the right side of the map early on. I think
stacking the passive. That's what's important. Got to stack that passive.
How do they ever let him live in that spot? But it's because of these globals the Bolts have.
That's a good double pull there from Jake and Venenu. Get the rest done.
Oh my god, this game is just Genetics buying time, and then a huge Ravenol comes flying in.
That's a good double pull there from Jake and Venenu. Get the rest done. Of course he can.
Oh my god, those drums do so much, but that Twig ult does everything. Tings come through and cleans up. Variety is in. Run. Oh, that like tickled his butt hairs. That was close. Wow, yeah, Tings and Shinso, I said at the beginning, are the 2 best mids in the league at the moment. I really do think it. They've been insane. They've been absolutely insane. I always rated Tings, and especially in Radius, because Radius, actually, I don't think had that good of a season last year. I know it's a bit of a controversial opinion, but I think Tings was probably their best player. And that's with a team with Cyclone, Aurora, Benji, and Kenneth. Like, maybe Benji was their best, actually, over the course of the season, but...
And now you can go Chronos Pendant and Desolation and Soul Gem. Still hit that 40% mark, but
I should have downloaded these as well. I know. Well, he was a bit of a funny support because he used to play like Jean-Qui support. Oh my god. How clean is that? I think Tings always wanted to be a mid, but just couldn't get into the league. He starts ulting before he walls, so he gets the... He walls, so he stops the dash, and then he cancels the wall, so it like plops him out of his dash. And Netroid, if you watch, actually starts ulting before Genesis even blinked, because he's just like, oh no, that's not true. He ults like straight away, but that's just good comms. That is lovely. That is delightful. On her OP. On her is kind of beastly. Wait, hold up. Why did Twig ult? What's Twig ulting here? No, blinks and ults for everyone. I like how Twig's playing this year, man. Twig looks so clean this year. You'd love to see it. Yeah, Genetics is... He's just everywhere, isn't he? He feels like a step ahead of everyone else on the map when he's in the game, I feel like.
Twig's build, he's gone for a runic shield early on.
See, this is what I mean about both Jake and Genetics playing the exact same way. If you watch, both of them are just by themselves chasing around the carries. He's attacking Venenu. Jake is the Scorpion.
Look at all the damage coming from the bolts. especially in that mid 3v3 core.
Yeah, I think Twig's just happy back in the jungle. It's funny, Twig actually nearly didn't play this year. People forget that. Twig,
very important for compositions like this. But
Twig is just... I can't remember what point I was saying, I got distracted. I'm sure I was making a very... Oh! Barracuda and Janissault. Name a more iconic duo. Oh, that was only ever going to happen, wasn't it? Oh. Oh, Barra. Oh, Barra. It's just like where does he fire this from? He's over here. I mean, he's not that far away. But honestly, the closer you are, the more janky the angles get, so... Doink. Add it to the video. Add it to the stack. Get it in the clips. What do you guys think of the vines, by the way? I feel like they've not really had any impact. So I've only seen like one fight where I've thought, oh, look, the vines are there.
I'm always going to give credit to the Giannis player. I mean, it's always skill, of course. No luck involved. I'm
really surprised they've gone for a Athena jungle after the last set where we saw Lasper have so much impact around the map with a god that can, you know, kind of has their own style. They don't need to rely on other players. They're self-sufficient. And now you've got Athena, who's very much the opposite. You hate them. You think they're nice people that want to stack auto tag? Yeah, get that Apollo passive up there. I don't know, just a thing that exists. Well, I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, people love people clear them early, which makes a lot of sense to me. Free Poseidon passive, get that Tide. Free Cuckoo Rage. That's just how everyone sees them, just free auto attacks on something. They're interesting when you see someone not clear them and they try to run away for their life and just like crash into a wall, but otherwise they don't really seem to have that much of an impact. But then again, I'd rather it have not that much of an impact rather than then make it something like you need 5 auto attacks to kill them, and it's just like you'd fucking hate it then. Oh, look at this flank, double stun, doink. Oh my giddy aunt. That is such a nice play here from Genetics. Wraps around. Twig is like corralling them in. Huge dunk. Why does Ven not Aegis that? Ven has Aegis here. So you stun, you get stunned, you bees. Do you not bees Aegis at the same time there? There's a Desert Fury and a Raven ult coming over. Jake's just running for his life. Sunder is so BM. They do not need that. But... And look, suddenly there's 4 of them there. Netroid is there as well. And they lose like a bit of one wave.
Star on Disney Plus now.
What is this? What is this? Is this on YouTube yet? Oh, now I've opened up a fucking advert. God damn it. Fuck it. Let's go back. It'll be back in a second anyway. Leviathans, Valks, Dragon's Bolts, and that's not even out. Beauty and fashion, exactly.
Playing the collapse a little bit better there. Bolts had 1 ward on the backside of the rotation in there, but too little too late. Now the Camelot Kings will pull a Gold Fury.
He's dead no matter what. Yeah, probably. But I mean, he would have Aegis'd a Raven ult and an on-her ult, so... I don't think they're going to change that anytime soon, to be honest. I think they're going to keep the relics during channels. I think that's the whole point, is that your animation lock, which is kind of part of the balance, right? If you're challenging along ability, doing lots of damage, the trade-off is that that you're locking yourself out, right? Yeah, and ulting Anubis with Aegis. Exactly. And the Kings have taken every fight. I tell you what, Smitevod has gotten way better this season though. They're really up on it at the moment. I see his fight going on. The reason they're looking for those picks in mid is because Netroid was there on the rotation.
Wow, look at this. Venena uses the Taiko drums way early.
There's a really big gank going on, a big rap and crap loop and scoop.
Uses his ultimate to engage in on this fight, and it's the knockback from Haddix. And the defender of the Olympus in from Lasper. Jake tickled down just
here comes Barra. But wait, he's coming in, and everyone's running for their lives, and they've still got so many cooldowns. God, they just have so much pressure, the Kings, man. They make the Emir look like the first pick that the rest of the league are like. I feel like a lot of people first pick it, but very few make it look like a first pick versus sort of god. But Genetics really does, man. Genetics is insane.
to push his lead on the
You just want to be able to blink to extend
on the Bolt side.
a Thor ult? What, so you're flying through the air and you blink a foot further? No, I don't think so. I think Janus is going to stay as he is. They already basically did their Janus rework. It wouldn't surprise if they reverted the change in his 2, but I don't think they will. They like removing randomness. That's been a theme throughout the years, regardless of whether... Oh, I see T in the background. Oh, you saint. That's alright. Thank you. Thanks, beautiful. Look at that. What a life to live.
That's why the turnabout pick makes sense, because you can buy yourself safety.
Life is truly worth living again. Rongi has had nice walls both in Ymir and Emoji. Yeah, Rongi's just a beast, that's why.
You cannot do that when your carries are behind.
Yeah, I mean, Baba's whole thing was randomness though, right? So I think they want to remove randomness in terms of, you saw how when they released Oleron with crit on his autos, they didn't make it like normal crit, they changed the crit to be more consistent and lower damage, so like less variance. Yeah, but it's not really that random, because it seems random, but sort of 4 times out of 5, it's something you just sell for a similar amount of gold. Most tier 1s sell for a similar value. And if you keep it, you're only really gaining a few hundred gold. So I know it seems random, but I don't think it is as random as you think. I mean, obviously it is random because you get a random item, but I think the actual effect it has is less random. Good wall. Yeah, when I say randomness, I mean in terms of kind of massive variance, right? Because it's within a... Is it totally random on the map? I thought I remember from the reveal that it's within a certain sort of distance of where you are at a given time or something. The point is that I think in terms of like gameplay mechanics, like crit and stuff like that, they don't want to have too much randomness in terms of like, you know, you do all of your damage or you do none. Like with crit, you do... Oh, that's a sick ult to get them all out. Oh, damage from Tings, man. He's 4-0. I didn't even notice he's 4-0. Good pillar. Oh, he does it again. Genetics cancels the wall, and so it just plops Barracuda out of the wall. That's so good. Look, so Barra dashes... Oh, it doesn't go back far enough to show this. They team fight so well, the Kings. Variety's chasing out Barra, ults him. Is Barra holding his beads there? No, they're just not up for 4 seconds. So he gets impaled into a wall. It's a good Aegis. He dashes into the wall, and then he's happy to just sit in this wall forever and let all the cooldowns go past. But Genetics then cancels the wall, so he just plops out, and suddenly he's dead. That's so good. Right, okay. Wow, this is such clean from the Kings, man. Kings are so good. So he's mostly on the map. That's interesting.
Love that play from Genetics. He throws up the wall, and Barra can go hide in the wall and then get a second dash. But then Genetics just instantly cancels his Ymir wall, and Barra's standing there like the John Travolta gif, like, where'd my safety go? But it's gone.
How do people think of stuff like that as they're talking, man?
Being willing to be aggressive once again in the enemy jungle.
Man, I think the Latin players have such a good style of play. Just so fearless.
And then we're going to use the Cerberus ultimate.
Because Netroid, although he's not playing on Leviathans, is still playing like the Leviathans, man.
For disengaging, and then Variety was right there.
Just no fear at all.
Fire Giant started here aggro for the Camelot Kings.
I say Latam, it's just the Sanguine plays of the Leviathans play style. So I don't know if we can say about the region, but that team's been together for so long, they have so much confidence. 18-minute Fire Giant, man. This game was close, and then suddenly it wasn't.
By the way, it's a sub 20-minute Fire Giant, and now Jake being run down by Variety, left alone.
Yeah, it can be exploited, but
for the stun.
I think most of the time, I think at the end of the day, they're doing the right things. You got ADC following up exactly where you want him to be, so you know.
Providing just enough threat to force Variety back.
The Camelot Kings don't even have to reset. I mean, why would they? They've got all the pressure on the map. Remember, the Bolts have the 2 people split pushing right now. Lasbra and Barra do have those global ultimates, so they can join this at any point. Big man back, so I don't think.
Let's do a little skippy scoogs. I don't think they're going for this.
Can't imagine they're gonna do it.
Wait, are Bolts gonna fight? Bolts are looking.
Just a matter of stripping away the Bolts jungle to make
See you later, Vamper. Nice to have you here again. You're always nice to have you in the chat. You get us popping off, so.
Have to be careful if you're the
I don't know if I'm going to be here much next week. As you may have noticed, my girlfriend is down, and so I don't know how often I can just disappear for like 5 hours and stream. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, my man. Enjoy your day. Let's do a little skippy skips. Gold Fury to Kings. 9k lead. Casual.
For Lasbra or for Jake, they're lacking that flat 10.
Yeah, I know what you mean, Skriz. But at the same time, I think a fewer amount of games means that the games are more impactful. Because the problem is that if you start missing games, you stop caring. Because you're not keeping up with what's going on. And like season 6 was insane. You had best of 5s with 10 teams. Like I couldn't watch all of it. I'll try my best, but I could watch about a third of it. And it's a nightmare for production as well. Nightmare for casting. So it's kind of, it's give and take. Obviously that means less smite, but it means the smite you get is more impactful. You know, people talking about it. Oh, look, there's a death. How did this happen? Oh, because Lasbra's in the middle of nowhere.
That's the whole game plan for this pick.
Lasbra will not get a chance to ult away.
How much damage did that ult do?
For Big Man Tings and Variety, and now the Olympus Bolts without their jungler for the next 4 seconds.
I'm up for doing that.
Push down the right-hand side, but he'll have to.
But the problem is that I don't know. I feel like people who'd watch me would rather watch something like Hazer or any other pro watching like Twigs doing, watching now, Zap watches, Barrow watches. I don't know why anyone would watch me over, you know, one of them. I'd be up for it.
Even numbers-wise.
Could be, and that's why the bolts are surging forward.
Yeah, but I think I loved it when it was on LAN. I think when it's back on LAN, it's really interesting and really good. Like it's a level above. I think it's just unlucky into how long COVID has gone on for. But
it's a good call by Bera and the rest of the bolts to just split push out on those side.
Oh, you guys are too nice, man.
Which is suboptimal for sure, but Bera gets some.
I won't be doing it this week. I don't think I can watch the games this week. Maybe the week after. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I'm not committing to anything.
But no spectral armor for Captain Twig and no beads for Captain Twig. So if Lasbra can just simply blink taunt Twig.
Where are you guys watching from, by the way? I'm trying to work out time zones because it's 20 past 2 here in sunny old England.
To be the initiators in a fight. We haven't seen it in like what 18 minutes now.
Oh, you're in England, are you? Whereabouts? North, south, east, west?
We're back against the ropes. Athena taunt in,
England?
towards us, and we turn around the game.
Exeter. I nearly went to uni next to, you know.
I've got a little history of turning around to losing.
Netherlands, Arrowhead. Fair enough. US, goddamn crud, you're a committed man.
Losing the game on Athena. So we'll take what we can get here. No.
Let's have a little skippers. Oh, I've gone too far. Oh, did my eyes betray me, or did I just see another Barracuda Jan assault? Da, 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 da. Here he comes. God, Tings just does not miss, man. He's got the mirrored in. Oh, he misses one, uses both relics, and then Tings is just going to go through, and with his 40% cooldown, just go through and kill him again. Oh my god, Tings is too good, man. You work nights. Oh my god.
This in behind Big Man Tings. This is going to be a kill for the
positive vibe. Hello, my man. How are you? Oh, while this is happening, they're still getting the Fire Giant. Oh my god. What is this shit? Sprite VOD, I need you. God damn it. Right, well, Q&A time. Let's kill some time. I get ads like this all the time. And there is 0 chance of me buying. Like less than 0. Oh wait, Q&A over. Ads are both. I use DaVinci Resolve because DaVinci Resolve is goated. The free version is really good, and it's really free. I've got the studio version, but even that isn't like a subscription like it is on Adobe. It's a one-time purchase, and you get all future versions of it. It's so good, and you can do like the After Effects stuff. You can do normal editing like in Premiere, After Effects stuff. You've got audio engineering as well. You've got color matching. You've got like you have on what's it called in Adobe? I can't remember, but DaVinci Resolve. I could not recommend it more. I love it. Yeah, absolutely love it. What's my favourite meta for Smite? I probably would. You know what? I used to think it was like the first few seasons, and then I went back and watched it because I had like really good memories of that. And then I went back and watched it, and you'd see people with like half an hour into the game with like 3 items, like boots, bancross, and obshard for like their entire build half an hour in, and everyone does like 6 damage per ability, and it's actually really shit. To be honest, I think kind of the seasons 5 and 6 meta was really good. I really like the modern meta, man. I've kind of gotten over my nostalgia. Now I've actually gone back and watched it. I'm like, oh yeah, it's kind of shit actually. Season 3 was a fun time as well. How did I get into video editing anyway? Well, I got into video editing because I left my job to go traveling in January of 2020, which is, in the grand scheme of life, like the worst decision you can ever make. And so I realized I was going to be stuck at home for a while. So I thought, fuck it, let's learn something new. I taught myself to edit videos and hashed out some Smite stuff. Yeah, Jithins, I really recommend it. It's the free version is so good that the main problem with it is that it's basically doesn't use your graphics card, so it's super CPU heavy. So if you've not got a good processor, it's really slow, and rendering is really slow. But otherwise, it cuts off very few features. Like you can still use the Fusion, which is the After Effects equivalent, and you can still use every feature on it. It's only like the kind of fancier transitions and stuff that they rule out. And even then, like I used the free version for like months and months. I've got like 100 videos on my channel. I use the free one. Black Magic, yeah, big up Black Magic. Who do I think is going to win Worlds this year? You're rooting for the Kings. They're playing really well. Yeah, I can see the Kings winning it, man. My crystal ball I'm looking into now is saying it's going to be Leviathans. I think they're going to win it. Someone else is gonna beat the Dragons beforehand, because I don't think they don't have a good history of beating the Dragons or that team. So someone else is gonna beat them in the run up to it, and they're gonna win. I'm making this prediction now, so in 7 months' time, or however long till it's played, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna clip the shit out of this. I'm gonna go, ow, so smart. You do have a good CPU, it's no big deal. Fair enough. Do I know how powerful it is compared to After Effects? I think it's probably not as powerful as a single pro, but it's not far off at all. I've not gone even close to the limits of it, and I know people do really good shit with it. Like it is really powerful. It's different to use though. I don't think it's as user friendly as First. Basically, it's all done through kind of almost like a flow chart rather than how you're used to After Effects working. It's like you have a media thing, and then the media thing has like nodes attached to it, which will be like, hey, this thing is now going to be, I don't know, have the background removed, and then you can change that node to change the effects on that, like change the coloring or whatever, and all of that stuff. So it seems more complicated when you first get into it, but it's actually really not that bad. If I can use it, anyone can use it, because if you've seen me use OBS, you know what cretin I am.
Starting to look at power pots, word coverage, things like that.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly, positive vibe. Well, I mean, they were one game away from having the perfect season last year, so that's kind of why they're favourite, I guess. But learn to use VMIX. Just those initials scare me, man. I don't even know what that means.
Remember that your ability to deal 50% damage against.
Of course, it's Twig who's getting the first Bumper Spear. That's the most Twig thing I've ever seen. It's like OBS before.
You can split push on Phoenix's really
Are you trying to tell me that this free open source software isn't for professionals? Much scarier. Fucking hell. Is that what you use for like slight stuff?
I like it.
And now that runic shield.
What's the other one I see people talk about? It's VMIX and something Split. X-Split? Is that the one? Leviathan's very good though. Yarkor's surprising the most. Yeah, exactly. He has played better in ADC just this season. Oh my god, Barrett, another Jet Assault. Yeah, Yarkor has played better this season than some ADCs play in their entire career, man. I thought they were going to be a worse team than Sanguine last year, because you're losing one of the best solo laners and he's going to ADC, and losing one of the best ADCs to a different team, and they somehow look better than they did last year. That's just how good he is in ADC, man. X-Bit is trash, right? Okay.
Allow this many low health bars to run away from you, but the bolts just don't have a way.
VMIX got that. Just spooks me. Julio is OP, man. Julio's busted.
Genetics is the one who will take it. Up goes the wall.
The classic portal in, wall yourself off, freeze through it. Just 800 IQ. How clean has Twig looked on this Raven, by the way? Never seen him play it before. So why would someone use XSplit then? What's the selling point behind that? I only use OBS because I just kind of, when I got into this stuff, I just googled random shit. Yeah, exactly. Why does Phantom walk through his own wall, shimmies back through it again? That's genius. And if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be fucking the guy who bought Teleport.
It's just this.
Let's have. Oh, god damn it!
Has not worked out at all.
What did I skip?
Lasbra has blink taunt that whole time, but
Here comes Lasbra. He's got Polly, bumper spear Polly. He's going for the meme build. Oh, he's so walled in. Oh no! Oh, no.
That's perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about when we're talking about evisceration. Look at this.
What damage has he done? He's done 4,000. Barra's done 5,000. Jake has done 6,000. King Arthur has done more than... Actually, wait, let's do some math here. King Arthur has done more than all three of them combined and doubled. If you took Jake, if you took the support, jungle, and ADC, added their damage together, which equals roughly 15,000. Christ alive. He's like still 7k over. That miracle is not coming.
That miracle is not answered. Unfortunately, a massive ult from Jake will only be answered by death. The Camelot
and that's
Kings
GG.
will get this one done.
God, this team is so clean, man. They did not look like coming into that game even close at any moment. Tings is just insane, man. Tings is a monster. Oh, look at that. 6 minutes in. Haven't missed a kill. Easy money.
I mean, maybe it's something we need to start getting used to here with Jake on the Cerberus now in a couple of games.
Yeah, agree, positive vibe. By far the best smite they've played. I think what happened was that... So I haven't seen all of those games. I only saw the second half of Game 2 and Game 3. Big ult. It's good ult from Laz, but... That's good. That's good fight. I think teams just took jungle pressure away from them. I think Dragons really lost a lot of their pressure, and then Final K is such a big comeback mechanic for them because he controls the team fight so well, and both Haddix and Solo Troll just outplayed him, I think, which is something that like you never say. But I think both of them did. Both of them outplayed him fairly comfortably, and it meant that they lost pressure, but where they usually come back into it through them, they didn't have that comeback potential, and they just got bopped. If they'd ever nerfed Ymir, I wonder if they're going to make Ymir walls able to knock down like you get with like an Odin cage or something, or Persephone cage.
But he's got to get his ultimate off. If he just channels the ultimate, sure, he's going to get.
That was a really loud drink. I feel so self-conscious drinking. Hopefully you hear me glugging. I'd hate to hear that if I was watching the stream.
After the fact that he got picked up.
Right. And look, this is what
yeah, exactly,
right?
exactly positive.
Game one,
yeah.
Got nothing going. Let's not mince words here. I mean, the Chernobog was effectively sat on in every fight. Genetics wall, the Ymir wall, was used more often than.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. It wouldn't surprise if they did do that. Actually.
An outplayer too throughout that game.
The reason why I don't think that's kind of on the agenda at the moment is because you don't really see, nice Jake, you don't really see people use Thor Wall in that same way as much. Thor Wall is very much more as a ranged stun rather than an actual wall. I mean, you do often see it as a wall as well, but that's not its main. Don't tell me he gets out. Don't tell me he gets out. Oh. What the fuck? But yeah, I think they will do that one day probably. But because he uses it as a ranged stun, you don't really see the kind of need for it. So he gets ulted then. He holds his ult. Fear no evil. That jump from Jake. Oh, the autos. And then Ting steps forward. Variety TPing in. Wow. Wow. Can't believe that. Yeah, exactly. Panda got screwed over by that pretty badly. Yeah, exactly. Screws. That is a stinker.
Because he has been so accurate. I've been so impressed.
I don't think that's anything to do with the skill floor though, does it?
You see these jump-in stuns from Twig on Fenrir, and Tings is ulting off of those. That he's in,
I mean, when you say skill floor, do you mean like how bad the worst players play it? Because if so, I don't think they'd really notice about it. Like, I know, I don't know.
Variety from range able to steal away the blue buff just a moment ago. One's poking him to it. He's got 2 levels over there in solo.
I smell a fight. I smell a fight coming on.
Before anyone else shows up.
God, I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. How'd that happen?
Pulled in by the Stygian Torment, but This time just a disrupt tool.
Yeah, but I don't think adding recoil on his wall would particularly change the learning experience, right? Because your learning experience is about how to use your hammer effectively, how to predict dunks and stuff like that. I don't think it would particularly change the dynamic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But I think that's good. I don't think that should affect your thinking about whether it's a good idea to have that. I think they like these quality of life changes a lot. That wall just forces the ult. How crazy is it that Twig has made Najjar first pick, first ban? Like, before this season, I would have said that Najjar is the one god I never want to see junglers picking up at the moment. And he just makes it look so good. From week 1 as well. Which god would I want to see? I disagree. I think Hyra's mentality is to clean up stuff like that. Clean up these. They like these little quality of life changes, but I don't think there's any public demand for it. I don't think. I'm not. That's the first time I've heard someone mention it. So, doink, hit the beam. Doesn't even need to hit the beam. Which gods do I think need a rework? Let's have a look. Da, 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 da. Do I think any of these need to rework? Who are your suggestions? I'm just having a look through. Shaq, maybe? I think Shaq's fine though. I think he's the worst god in the game, but you know, he has his uses. Arachne, Skadi. Maybe Arachne. I don't think Skadi though. I think Skadi has. I know you don't like her, but a lot of people really do like her. I don't think they'd want to change that. People say Hades, but you know, I think Hades is a lot of fun. I think people would be really annoyed. I think Yorn might need something different because he is just being totally forgotten at the moment. Like, when was the last time you saw someone play Yorn?
And I think that's the better way to do it, is to establish, hey, I'm ulting off my sash. So
Mulan, like, what does Mulan do?
Go, all right, well, I'm not ulting, so I'm going to sash, but
Odin changed his 3 because his 3 sucks.
Better be ready for it. It starts those mind games in a positive way.
Circuit, I think, needs looking at. Because I've always said how I'm so annoyed about how Circuit's kit has... Oh my god, fuck off. Right, it's a good time for my Circuit rant, though. Oh, it's already over. How Circuit has... She has 2 forms of escape. She has a dash that has prot shred. It has a chance to crit. She has a stealth. She has a leap that goes further than all other leaps in the game. She's got 2 forms of CC. She's got true damage. She's got anti-heal, like 100% anti-heal. She's got everything in her kit. It's so bloated. So bloated. Yeah, I think Hades maybe is like, he's a god that wouldn't exist nowadays. He wouldn't be designed nowadays. But I think you're right, is a good niche. So, yeah, I think the problem with Sylvanas is just that he's so immobile. It means that for him to be good, he needs to be so good that he outweighs the fact that he's so immobile. And then he becomes OP, right? Because he becomes like really overwhelmingly good. So actually, was taken. What's up, my man?
Why risk it?
Yeah, I think it wouldn't surprise if they changed the pull. So you know how early it locks you in on aiming with the pull. You press the button and you instantly freeze. Like, you don't have any chance to like flick it and aim it. It wouldn't surprise if they changed that. You know, like if you played Arachne back in the day before she got reworked, you might remember. You might remember that you had a lot more freedom of aiming with that. You had the ability to aim it. Oh hello, I sense a big Ra snipe. Doink. Oh, it's just so clean. Everyone is exactly where they need to be. It's so good. Yeah, AMC is either busted or not played, as far as I can tell. Yeah, I loved Old Arachne ult, man. Old Arachne is just so fun. Let's look at I've not been looking at the builds at all. It's funny that Benevolence has become like the pick for supports. I really thought it'd be the Watchers into Sentinels, whatever. Oh, I don't like that blink. Because what's he going to do with it? Haddox is out. But now that gives no counter engage at all. Yeah, maybe a fast projectile. I don't know.
Barracuda with
You think you?
variety. Maybe I shouldn't.
Oh,
I
hello.
don't really know.
Fucking nuts. Oh, there's a cat in here.
Find a
What's going
whole
on?
lot with that Blink Trio Weevil on the back
Hello,
end.
good
Doesn't
you.
have any CR either.
Some new gods are really complicated. Some really aren't. Do you want to shut the door,
Big
please?
ultimate
Sorry,
back
I'm gonna
up.
be noisy.
That's twice now. I mean, both kills
Um,
for the Kings are Sash into
Thank you.
into Raw Snipe onto Jake, who has these.
Sorry,
leads.
can't really scroll up in the chat for some reason. Yeah, some new gods are really complicated, but then you've got ones like Suki, who I don't think is that complicated at all. Oh, of course, now the cat wants to go out again. Can you see the cat? Oh, wait, which way do I lean? This way.
But at this point of your
Kitty! It's a
Jake's
kitty
not
cat.
Carry player. He's a tank. They're usually
Everyone say hi
a
to the
bit less,
kitty.
Comfortable
Yep.
with using purification beads at the right time. I'm not saying Jake's incapable of beadsing a
Oh,
that mind games, that's
doesn't
something
like
carry
being
players
picked up
are
at all.
used
She hates being
with
picked
Naja.
up. Oh, everyone
Jake,
say hello
not
to
so
the
much.
kitty cat. Hello, kitty. She's got her claws so deep in my shoulder. Ah, she's
Been
escaping.
a relatively slow
She hates being
game.
picked up, so I can't believe she stayed there that long.
Lost one extra kill.
Be free, kitty. Be free.
Slowly falling behind.
Now you're just hiding under a.
About 2,500 gold. So it's just.
She's just
slowly
hiding under
gone
a
up.
shit.
Everyone almost with an experience lead at
Big
this point.
donut, what are you
Notably,
doing?
Netrioid is caught up to Barracuda as well, rotating into that fight. Just a minute ago, helped that Heimdall grab an assist.
What was I saying?
Where you did have leads
Hello,
on the
kitty
map.
cat. I'm allergic. I'm also allergic. So is my mum,
Away
but
from you. Variety had that gap
she needed
closed, but
rehoming,
Paddock's
so
caught
we
up in XP, 2 levels now,
yeah.
1 level.
I mean, the problem when they used to hash out gods every like few weeks, you'd end up with these gods that just had kits that didn't really have interesting mechanics to them. They were just really strong, like Erlang Shen, where he just has lots of good things, but like he doesn't really have a theme to his kit. He doesn't have like a style of play other than just attack and kill. Like they're really frustrating to play against because they're not like you can really play around them. They are just strong, you know. Honey is her name, because she's a friend's cat that needed rehoming. Yeah, so and they called her Honey, so we call her Honey. Honey Bunch. Oh yeah, she just does not give a shit, man. Start switching assassin. Play full damage Ulla. But power pen Ulla. Got start switching assassin right there. Just stay in axe stance the whole way. Your dog's good, Honey. No way. What kind of dog is it? Yeah, no, my cat definitely understands. She just does not give a shit. She's a lovely kiddo. I'm not even paying attention to this game. I'm just talking about cats now.
And Twig does his job perfectly. He got both sets of carry beads with that play. He blinks in, gets the beads from Barra with the whip sash, all part of the plan.
All right, I'm going to go back and watch that. Sorry, I was just zoned out talking about cats. A lurcher. What's a lurcher? Oh, sorry. I'm googling. Lurcher. Oh, they're sweet, those ones. They got funny faces, kind of like Greyhoundy.
And Twig does his job perfectly. He got both sets of
Yeah, they're sweet.
with that play. He blinks in, gets the beads from Barra.
Is it a speedy dog? I bet it's a fucking fast dog. Oh, close my chat. Yeah, it's people who weren't here earlier. Exciting news. I've set up a second channel for stream stuff, so I don't have to clog up your beautiful sub boxes with skanky Twitch videos. I know a lot of you were here, but there it is. I just saw it, so I felt obliged to plug it again. 4 kills in 20 minutes. Yeah, it's been a bit of a You remember how much you hate Freya? Yeah, I think about gods that might need reworks. I feel like Freya is constantly on the edge of needing a rework, man. Snoop, very speedy. Speedy dog, yeah, it does not surprise me. I've been walking a dog at the moment that's a poodle, like pure breed poodle. She is fast as fuck, man. Not like greyhound fast, but like you throw a ball and she's like, oh my god. Yeah, exactly.
Season 4 Smite, or maybe even Season 2 with this build. I mean, going for the bulwark, not something you see. Yeah, Dave, you know all about Season 2.
Yes, my favorite season.
And the typical builds. No, Season 2 was not our favorite season, Dave. Mid camps were worth way too much.
Hated it.
Yeah, no.
Season 2 was okay. Season 1 he's talking about aggro.
That's right. Let's light stumble.
Yeah, I feel like Freya is either amazing or, you know.
Again in the mid lane, but the Cerberus will survive this time. You can
Sorry, I'm just getting messages from my girlfriend like, what do I do with the cat? She's everywhere.
Forced all the way back beneath his tier 2 tower. Netrioid not super worried about it. There is 1 ward for the Camelot Kings, but it's A bit back by the Harpy camp here on the right-hand side, but the rest of the roster
Right,
here
sorry.
provide
Back.
mobile
Yeah,
support.
Freya is like
It just
amazing,
continue
or
to
she's like
swing away.
never played, which is not a good state for a god. I think we could see people play Freya this season, man.
Raspberry engages this time
Once
with
crit
Freya
gets
leading.
nerfed, I think we're going to start seeing Freya again.
Fizzles away. The ultimate gets dropped down for the red buff.
Because you're not going to play Freya at the moment, because the whole thing about Freya is she's the queen of DPS, but she's getting out DPS by crit. Like, you're never going to see her at the
And a
moment.
big engage tool by Laspberry.
But I'm telling you, I really think they're going to...
For the next little bit of
I think
time,
Wind
this
Demon is going to be the real... I think they're going to make Shurikens melee only. That's my sense.
hand in some engagements, but instead it looks like farming
Yeah.
and back to some normalcy is the way to go.
Oh, I remember the Golden Bow. Golden Bow, I think, was the worst meta. Maybe not the worst, but like right up there. That was a dark, yeah, dark, and it made only darker by the fact that it had that like 7% crit chance. So just every now and then you get like that Cyclone Spin auto where it just like it's for like 150 when you've got like 400 health, and it just like one shots you. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Mage ADCs were strong in Hasten Fatalis days, yeah. Do you remember people used to build Hasten Fatalis on Poseidon a lot, which made me want to throw up in my mouth, like, gross. Body check. Put some sauce on it. Tings hit the snipe. Has he got it? No. But he's getting wrecked a bit here. They've got so much damage, so much healing. They can keep doing these in and out fights all they want. Look at Genetics just standing in it in the middle of all of them. Hey, basically, yeah. It's it's something. It's good in casual. It's not good in SPL. Whenever you see Poseidon building Dominant Grape, you're like, "Ugh." Something icky. Yeah, exactly. I agree exactly with those words. Do you think it'd be OP if they brought Hasten Fatalis back?
Maybe he was just expecting CC.
I don't think Mage ADCs would be OP. I think it would be... I don't think Hunters would build it at the moment. Like, where is it going in this build? Maybe sub out Boots for it at the end? What I will say is that there's no way they're bringing it back. That's for sure. They systematically removed all forms of Fatalis from the game. Jake's just shimmying. Tings is just shimmying though. They can't even kill him there. They're so grouped. They're so clean. Yeah, exactly. I think that's why they're going to really change Wind Demon, because it basically acts like Fatalis, doesn't it? Increases attack speed, increases movement speed. Oh, this is a good fight for the bolts. Oh my god, what is up with these ads, man? What is this shit? I need to subscribe to fucking Smite Game. Is Fatalis hastened? What do you mean? So we have hastened Katana, which is the same thing, basically. But that's for melee only. Yeah. What he said.
Fight for the blue side.
Right in the middle of everything. Right, so Lasbury gets popped by a fat crit there. And then Barra's in the back and just gets bonk. That's so good from Genetics on like 200 ping. Genetics is running. No chance. Variety, how good has Variety looked this year, man? I'm so impressed, so impressed. I don't like the anime waifus, yeah. I just really not into anime, man. I feel like I betrayed all the gamers when I say that, but he went around for Fatalis. So Fatalis was a movement speed and attack speed item. Didn't give any power, but it basically made whenever you hit an auto attack on someone else, it took away your movement speed penalty from auto attacking, so you just scoot around at high speed. And it meant gods like Freya were terrifying, because if she hits you with one auto, she slows you, she speeds herself up, and she just goes boop, 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 boop. Brutal. Yeah, that's why. So you got Hastened Ring. So Hastened Ring is different, because when you get that effect, it doesn't matter whether you're hitting someone, you just don't have an auto attack penalty. Whereas with Fatality, if you missed, you would lose it. So, but with Frey, you'd be basically right in their butt cheeks, just like slamming them with auto. So you did not need to worry about missing. That's for sure. Oh, was that I missed? Let me just press 4 and do like 1,000 damage.
Olympus Bolts picking up
I can see them removing Danza's 3 damage reduction, but I don't think he's strong enough to. Oh, dings. But I don't think he's too strong that he needs a nurse at the moment. He's fine, I think.
Kings find the important open.
Oh, Barra, he doesn't want to come out of that wall.
Waiting for an open,
Doink, that's so good from Nitro. He just just chases him.
beautiful ultimate.
And the damage. The Kings are so good, man. The Kings are so good. Maybe you're right. Maybe these are the number 2 team.
An unofficial 3 Haddocks now being tier 2 tower dome.
They are, so like the league at the moment really has the tiers, doesn't it? It has the top 3 of Dragons, Leviathans, Kings, then the Bolts, and then a bottom 4. Titans are moving their way up. Scarabs are on the up as well, but I don't think they're anywhere close to those jumps yet.
Not even worried about securing the objective. That's no fun.
You did see. Bluestone! No! Yeah, no cooldown exactly. You're right.
That's why you always upgrade your Bluestone.
So Crow, that happens. I see that interaction a lot on the Reddit. Basically, it just bugs out the game, and you fly through the air for like 30 seconds until the game times you out and just kills you. It's so fucked. Alright, so if the Dragons are the best team in the league and the Scarabs beat them, that means Scarabs are the best. So you're exactly right.
Right back into the fight with the upgraded teleport. Haddock's gone for 45 seconds. Suddenly, the
This game's kind of over, isn't it? Yeah, exactly, Skriz. The thing is that I'm actually annoyed at myself for not predicting that the Titans would be as slow as they are. I thought they'd have a bit of a slow start, but I kind of knew they'd be slower. I just didn't I should have known, is what I'm trying to say. Oh my god, did he get sundered as well?
Yeah, Barracuda has, though, half.
No, he didn't.
The Chernobog's HP is gone.
That's insane. These guys are so good.
Awesome Jake gone.
But like, it's basically the same core as Radiant, but with a new jungler who's not played the role before. It does not surprise they're slow at all, because that Radiant team, they had an unbeaten start, but they were actually, I think they were pretty average in the regular season. They had like a good start, but they never really seemed to find their playstyle in the same way that the other teams did. Like Sanguine, who finished top of the league of that split. Bolts aren't doing bad. Not at all. Not at all. They're raw spam. Caw. That's a good ult, but it's not going to do shit, is it? Because he has to beads the slugs, otherwise he's just dead. You see Tings that aims to the right of him then, predicts the juke. But Lasbro just straight lines it. Oh, Twig caught him. Twig caught him over there. Dead. Variety's trying to ult over that wall, but that wall's too big. Oh, there we go. God, Genetics just feels so tanky, doesn't he? Oh, what did Tings just do? I missed that. Let's watch Tings here. Tings here. Big fat beam. Clears out Kings. Clears out Barra. Clears out Ven. This is the team we just watched destroy the Dragons. Just got clean destroyed by the Kings. Insane. Insane. Yeah, that's what everyone was thinking positive.
The way this team works as a unit, you'd think they've been playing together for the last 3 or 4 years, Dave.
Exactly. Top damage Variety, second top damage by 100 on Tings. That is the cleanest performance you're going to see all year. That's insane. Well, I don't understand why they couldn't put junglers in that. Well, I think it's because Paul and Scary wanted to play together. So it was like, if you want Paul, you get Scary. Ice Ice is... I think Sino and Scream are better shouts. I don't think Ice Ice is SPL quality these days. One of the all-time greats, obviously, but that team ain't doing too hot in SEC. Let's skip game 1. Because it looks like, you know... Actually, they're kind of close. It's a good game from Layers. Yeah, Older Rival did get denied, which is soon. I think no one's talking about it, but I think Scream had a really tough time in Roster Apocalypse. Scream, Guy J, Wowie. Oh, yeah. No. They're all names that kind of have been forgotten in the midst of the fact that Twitter has gone on fire recently. But this comp is bad, by the way. This comp is not good. Good first 3. Artemis Najar? I'm not sure about that. That's right, yeah. Or was it the Warriors or was it the Titans? No, it was the Warriors, wasn't it? With multiple mid maybe? I've forgotten. Someone will. Yeah, Nika. Yeah, I think that's right. Someone will correct me though, I'm sure. Right. Let's do a little skippy scoos. Don't need to see the solo lane slap fight.
Honestly, the Scarabs looked good. It was literally one fight.
Look at that dash in. Captain Twig is back. Sam beads that.
The entirety of J-Dragon
You don't feel like that. Look at inbound. Slap. Slap. 32 damage. Wow. Oh, we could have popped that in time. Yes, he did.
All the while, Zapman ends up poked out, so inbound Kit's aggressive, knocked up onto Panda Cat. And
fat poke. Layers loves the cringe duo lane gank.
Still red when Sam's all the way around there, and they're able to continue getting aggressive. This is good, I think, overall.
SOT had such a good game this game. Such a good game.
And again, on something like Xing Shin, he can get super aggressive on this pick as well.
Let's just do a big skip forward because I'm lazy.
The real playmaker.
Too far. That was a mistake.
Takes care.
I think, well, Scary's getting better and better.
In the event that Tier gets back there. So
you wonder how good he's going to be by the time they get to learn. Do you not think he should be given a bit of time? Oh, the Duke of the no shot. Wait, hold up.
Sam goes to the sash. That's his third one this game off the mark, but it
might
not matter. Windfire Wheels misses. And SOT
and he beats that as well. Oh, Sam. The problem is Sam is so good is that I don't think he sometimes... I think he's sometimes too focused on like, oh, you know, beads to prevent damage, don't get caught in tower and all this kind of stuff. He's so focused on that little thing that he doesn't think about the big picture of, you know, now he's not got beads as a Nusha. Like, I don't think he needs to beads that there.
They're ready for it. They're absolutely making sense. Like, almost feel foolish at this point. I mean, that's been a couple of
yeah, because, well, on that logic, then why not just start with him, right? They clearly have a reason for wanting to play with him.
Still left to the Scarabs.
Oh.
And they are ready to collect. Riptide allows them to move, piercing.
Don't. Oh, it carries him through to Heroin. Nightmare.
Takes care of her.
Where did that ult go?
End up falling to Sam to at least give one kill the way of the Dragons. But what a way for the Scarabs to start here in game 2, taking care of Heroin and Mike in one fell swoop. Dictating the pace of the game feels
dictating the pace of the game. I love that phrase.
Admittedly, you don't want Baronic to fall there, but you trade for mid and support and
Zap and Panda. I love how seriously people take their beef. Do you know what was the worst comment I saw yesterday? When Zap was tweeting at Panda Cat about winning because, you know, Panda was like shit talking him beforehand. Someone replies like, "Oh, look at the player damage." Like, they lost the game. Who gives a shit about player damage? I think the opposite. I think it depends where you come into it. I thought people didn't rate Scary D at all, and so therefore I think he was underrated. But if you think he is rated, then a lot of people think he's overrated. So I don't know. I think Scary had a quietly good season last year. He was really good in lane against a lot of very good players. But he was not having the impact in the regular season that he did at Worlds. Like, not even close. I don't think many players were having the impact he was having in Worlds, to be fair. Quietly one of the better players of the entire tournament. To be honest, I think I need to actually hold up. Scary lands OP. I don't think he's bottom SPL. I think you're just being mean to my boy Scary. Go. Oh fucking hell! A minute long break. Right, boys. I think I'm probably gonna call it there because I am neglecting my girlfriend. So yeah, Scary D was originally Scary D and then became Belair and then we're back to Scary D. So yeah, go, my man. I am off. I'm gonna leave the stream there, I think, because I'm neglecting my girlfriend, so it doesn't feel right. Scary D was really sorry. What were you saying here, Positive? I know these players beast in pro standard, but I don't rate Heroin. There's better mid lanes in the Leaf and Jonathan carry game. This is his season to prove himself to you then, because I think he's good enough. But yeah. Thanks, Crowd. Appreciate that. Thanks, Grizz. You're a legend. There's hopefully a good video coming this week. I think you guys will like it. See you later, boys. Thanks for hanging out in the stream. I always appreciate it all. And go achieve something with your days, especially people in America who've just started. So, all right. See you on the flip side, boys. What a lame phrase. See you later, lads.